Alright, we're good.
Be like,
Bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
What's my age again? We're
going?
Episode 312, correct? Correct. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bussin' With The Boys. We have a whole slate of information for you today. We will be talking about AFC Championship coming up. We will be breaking down the divisional games. It is Monday right now while we're shooting this. So we will be talking a little bit about CFB, our final predictions on what are going to happen there. And obviously the news that is the elephant in the room. But the elephant in the room is everyone should own a Chevy Silverado. We're presented by our good friends at Chevy. Playoff reminds us that every weekend counts. To help you pack more into your weekend, Chevy has packed more into the Silverado Trail Boss. More capability, more muscle, more smarts. I thought they were just describing... Oh, that's a joke that I didn't read correctly. Tailgates, road trips, DIY projects like transforming an old bus into recording studio, maybe bring it on. As a Silverado
driver myself, I say this all the time to myself when I'm driving. Bring it on. Oh, come on. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
That's because the Silverado Trail Boss has everything you need for anything the weekend calls for. With 495 pounds of torque, Z71 suspension, and a 2-inch factory lift, the Trail Boss has top-tier strength and agility paired with the all-latest truck tech inside and out. The result is a truck that can do it all. Then show up on Monday with a story for the ages. So learn more about the Silverado Trail Boss at Chevy.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
I'll tell you this, 2 inches is a lot more than people think. 2 inches is a lot more than people think.
It's nice and subtle.
Yeah. Strong.
It's more. It's like talking out of both sides of my mouth. It's more than people think, but it's also subtle.
Yeah, and it also gives that little raise to a truck that says, "Oh, I'm a beefcake, dude. Don't you worry about this."
Yeah,
a big, strong man lives in here.
Yeah,
that's what's going on. Also, hey, if we're gonna have ads that say Will's gonna jump in here, and there's also gonna be a joke that comes in, let me see it before.
I mean, the Will part was in red.
Yeah,
it says Will. Say this.
I understand that. Maybe I'm colorblind. maybe I happen to be colorblind.
Do you remember in this morning meeting when I said I have two things to go over in the ads, and I only went over one thing, and I said maybe there wasn't another thing.
This was the thing.
That was the thing. I messed up.
That was the thing.
That was the thing.
Okay.
That
My
was
apologies.
The thing.
All right, where do we start? We obviously we're going to start off the top of the episode. Top of the episode with the Barstool Sports Bussin' With The Boys. There's been a lot of speculation about our brand, and yeah. We're moving on from Barstool Sports. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts. We'll talk about what led us to this. We'll talk about how we went about it. We'll talk about why. Ultimately, we know that there's going to be a lot of people tuning in. There's going to be tier ones. And by the way, before we start, if you're true to this podcast, make sure you're subscribed. Yep. If you're new to this podcast, consider subscribing to The Boys. We are a show that brings the locker room to life through content, through conversations, interviews, access we get with our vlogs. Very fun channel that I think you guys will enjoy, so make sure you're subscribed.
It's a fun time. It's a good time.
But there's going to be a lot of people tuning in. There's going to be tier ones. There's going to be stoolies that have came across Bussin' With The Boys throughout the last 5 years that are rooting for us, that are also sad that we're moving on. There's probably going to be stoolies that are haters that are going to want to see how we're going to fail.
A healthy balance of haters and lovers.
Yeah. There's going to be athletes, podcasters tuning in that probably want to understand what's going on in the industry and how we positioned ourselves this way. Maybe Barstool personalities tuning in, thinking about wondering how it all unfolded, because we haven't talked about it a whole lot. It's obviously been alluded to based on surviving Barstool. Cat came out the bag last week on the Unnamed Show with our boy Kirk Minahan.
Yep. Kirk Schefter did his best to, literally you could see it during the thing, like Dave's like, I really wanted them to say it. And Kirk kind of just kept on keeping on, which is great.
And, he's like, but it's out there, right? Like
it's out there. Everyone knows, right?
Everyone
knows. And you're kind of, it's like you want to be like Kirk, like you're way smarter than that. But also we were at the finale of Surviving Barstool and talking very openly about it.
What's funny is Kirk and I, we've texted every day throughout Surviving Barstool. And I knew the Unnamed Show, like maybe I'll get called on, maybe not, to talk about surviving. And not that whole dinner situation.
I didn't think you did anything wrong.
But I thought, I was thinking to myself that morning, I should just shoot Kirk a text saying like, hey, we haven't announced the whole Bussin thing.
Right.
Like, if you can stay away from it, because Kirk's the only one that's like, he would bring it up and not caring, not really considering all the different things.
Not maliciously.
Because it's kind of out there. Yeah, not maliciously. But I did think about doing that. And when I didn't, and then he started talking about it, I'm just like, I should have sent him that message.
It's a great point of growth, right? Anybody watching the show, if you don't want things to happen, do your best to communicate, right?
Yeah.
The more communication, the better. That way things don't get lost in translation. Where do we want to start, dude? Do we want, like, we can
start on the surface. What pulled us away from Barstool was we had a massive offer.
It was
An offer that ultimately we could not say no to. And we wanted to stay with Barstool. Just like when we extended a couple years ago, we wanted to stay with Barstool.
Right. And the conversation going into what could be, out there outside of Barstool or the Barstool itself was, we love being a part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
We love the guys there with the camaraderie, the locker room vibes. Like, Barstool is truly a company. And Dave said on a name show, like, people don't want to leave Barstool for a reason. We have, for whatever reason, positioned ourselves to where other people, sponsors want to be a part of Bussin' With The Boys in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is going into the negotiations, which kind of started to get kicked up at the tail end of surviving Barstool, was someone would have to truly pull us away from Barstool to walk away.
You remember the dinner when I'm sitting there and we're sitting with our agent and everybody else, and it was like, hey, somebody's going to have to come correct if they want us away from Barstool. It's not going to be if they outbid, if they outdo this, because we love, if nothing else happens, if Taylor and I were on the exact same deal, our life is awesome because we have creative freedom. We have creative control. Dave lets us do whatever we want. We get to mingle with the Barstool. We get to mingle inside of the Barstool universe. Like, it is a job that you just can't mimic out there. And that's what makes them so great. They have so many shows and so many personalities, and you have so much freedom because of somebody like Dave Portnoy at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, dude, it's really cool. It's been a very cool experience, right? Because we were about 10 episodes in, maybe even less than 10 episodes in when Barstool came knocking at our door. Yeah. And essentially, so just about the inception of this podcast, Barstool has really had their name tagged to Bussin' With The Boys. So it is a bittersweet type of ending, but it has been, it's been awesome. Yeah. It has really been a special time. It has been, you learn things from a guy like Dave Portnoy, Dan Katz. We were part of, when we got in, that's when Penn got in. So we got to see how, real, like, big time gambling companies work. And then Dave doing the whole buyback for $1. We were part of a lot of cool things that were part of Barstool. And I just feel lucky. Yeah. And I feel very humbled by the experience to be able to be a part of a company like Barstool for as long as we have been.
Yeah. And like you were saying, it's like Dave called right after the Super Bowl last year. And it's like a year out from negotiation, which is pretty rare. And he was just like, I just want you to know we're going to do everything we can. Like, we don't have Saudi money, but we're going to do everything we can to keep you guys. And that happened in like February. And then you fast forward, like, there was some, he knew we were going to test the market. He was like, hey,
he actually told us
to. He's like, hey, go out and test the market, but just know, like, we are going to fight to keep you guys as much as we can. And it started to pick up in August during training camp. I want to say we went to maybe Detroit when Dave had the first offer he put towards us. Mm-hmm. We were able to shop that. And there were offers that we had, but nothing like close, or they were in the ballpark of Barstool. And it was still kind of like a no-brainer. Like, somebody, again, is going to have to like pull us away from Barstool. And I remember when we got the first big offer, and ultimately it was one sponsor that had a bigger offer than what Barstool was able to put together as a whole. And I remember being on the phone with Dave. We were at Oregon for our fall tour stop. You guys were out in the trees.
Yeah, what a moment, by the way, for us.
I remember telling Dave, and I'm like, here's what we have. And he was like, he sounded optimistic, like, all right, I'm gonna try to talk to some people, and we're gonna see if we can work this out. And I remember telling Dave, like, bro, please make this easy for us. Like, I know this is a big offer. Please make this easy for us. We love being with you guys. Like, make this easy, without telling him, hey, we'll come back for a hometown discount, but also, like, you're not trying to like give away all that stuff. But I wanted him to know we do want to come back, and if you can make this competitive, like, we will still be here. And ultimately he just couldn't do it. He couldn't go up that high. Yeah. I mean, it's like, if you think about taking a hometown discount, you're thinking what, a 10 to 20%. If he can get like within that range, then it's probably doable. Like, he couldn't get like within 40%, and it was tough. It's like, we took a couple days. We're sitting there wondering where each other's at. I'm like losing sleep over it. Like, fuck, this is like, you can't say no to this opportunity because it's an awesome opportunity.
Right. And it is one of those things too, where you just kind of brushed over it real quick of like, we were both in this weird figuring where I was trying to figure out where you were at. You were trying to figure out I was at. And we kind of have like very surface level conversations and then would figure out that, okay, right now is not the time to really break all of this down. So we kind of walk away from that until we ended up sitting and we went to a lunch. And on the drive back from the lunch back to the shop, we had more of an in-depth conversation about it.
Right.
And then inevitably had a breakfast a few days later. Right. It was actually a day after we TP'd Will's house. So I was walking into...
Yeah, that's right.
Because the thing that is it was very uncomfortable for me and Will is like, we ended up both being on the same page of where we wanted to go. However, like if let's say Will and I were not, let's say I want to stay, Will wanted to go, or vice versa. Now you get into this, you have two best friends who started a business together who are trying to figure out the ins and outs of like, you want to do what's best for the company, do what's best for the friendship, do what's best for everybody involved, especially you guys in the back too. Like we want to do right by everybody that is involved with Bussin' With The Boys. So it never got to a point where it was like, we're mad or anything like that, but there was difficult conversations that had to take place. And for Will and I to truly sit down and break down all of those things.
And to be transparent too, it's like, not that one's been negative and positive, but we have both had different experiences with Barstool. Like I was signed to Barstool to be exclusive, to be on their shows like the Yak and Pro Football Show that doesn't. Like there's been a lot of things that we've embraced throughout all of our time with Barstool where I've really enjoyed and done all of it. I'm not saying you're not, but just knowing in those conversations, we've just had different experiences to where it was like, it made it very difficult. Like when Dave was transparent when they were bringing Gruden on, he's like, hey, you and Gruden, you guys could have a show, all this different stuff. And it just like, ultimately it just didn't work out because the numbers were so far apart. And it was like, I say you got to do what's best for Bussin', but if you think about how Bussin' started and think about our own personal journeys, if you go back to when we started on that gravel parking lot, we talk about that story all the time. When we were transitioning away from football and in our own minds and our own worlds of transitioning away from football, you want to transition to a job to where you're going to have freedom, like where you're going to have control over your life. We didn't know if we were going to make money doing podcasting, but ultimately the goal was always like, hey, if we can make money doing this, like this would be awesome because we are our own bosses. We wanted to control our IP. We wanted to control our feed. We wanted to have creative control. And ultimately we started to build this small base with Bussin' With The Boys. Like while we were playing, Barstool comes on board, and what an opportunity because they have such a massive audience that fits what we do. And that's bring the locker room to life. And they do it better, as good as anybody out there. And so when we're building Bussin', it was always, hey, our leverage is going to be controlling our IP, owning our IP, and then we'll set ourselves up later. Then as we start to make money and blow it up with Barstool, again, it was the things you start to learn in the business of Barstool and in that universe is, all right, we had to go from contractors to getting full-time employees. Like we have all of our operation. We operate here in Nashville. We have how many employees? 8, 10 guys. Full-time employees now. We have our production team. We have everybody in-house. So where we know sitting back, like this is ultimately going to be leverage down the line if we continue to extend with Barstool or if somebody else comes into the fold. So you start to learn all those things, but at the birth of it all, it was how can we create something to where we're able to make money on it and we control our own lives,
our own destiny.
Yeah, really. Our own destiny.
We can do whatever we want.
Because when you leave football, every player, like it's a little bit of jadedness. I know for myself, you want to, you're like, all right, am I going to have to go into coaching right away? Am I going to have to go into the workforce right away? You have to do all these different things to where, am I going to find the next roller coaster?
Yeah, you're wondering about your next master.
Yeah, that football brought us.
Yeah.
And fortunately, all the stars aligned to where we created Bussin' With The Boys, and we were getting that, like getting the still being in the locker room. We have all these locker room conversations, still getting to be around a team, just the camaraderie we had. So it all started with the idea of, hey, because I remember when we first sat down, it's like, hey, if anybody comes and tries to buy us or partner with us, we're going to say no.
Right.
Because we wanted to like stick it to any man out there. Like if Barstool came, if ESPN, any of them, we're going to be able to say no because it's like we wanted to grow, we wanted to build something ourselves. And then when Barstool comes on board to partner, it's been such an incredible 5 years. It's tough to think about. It's like leaving your college football team. It's like being with the Titans for 9 years. It's about being with Washington for 5 years. You hate when you have to move on from it because you want that that team that bet on you, that saw you from the beginning, that loyalty to where they've stayed by you the whole time and helped grow you and help build you and help basically put your talents and skills like on a platform within a team or whatever it is. And then Barstool doing that for Bussin', it's tough to get away from that. But ultimately at the end of the day, the incubation of it all was like controlling our IP, controlling everything that we have. And we position ourselves to have this new opportunity, which is an incredible opportunity. I don't want to sit here. We don't want to sit here and make it like, oh, we're so bummed. We wanted Barstool. We wanted Barstool.
Right.
We are stoked about this next opportunity. We were hopeful being in the bubble of this is who we've been with the entire time. We want them to bet on us in the same way.
And it's
these
scary
other
to look on
people
the
are.
other side of the fence.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen on the other side. So a part of you wanted for money essentially to not be a factor, so you can kind of stay in your level of comfort zone, being a part of the ecosystem that you understand, you know how everybody's brain kind of operates.
Yep.
Like there's a level of a safety blanket there that makes you feel like, all right, I can continue to do this while making X, Y, and Z more.
Yeah.
Now, I remember when we finally had the conversation of like, okay, this is what we are going to do as Bussin' With The Boys. We're going to move on from Barstool. Like, once you rip off the Band-Aid of calling Dave, having the conversation, all of those things, it's like the new level of excitement. It's like, oh, wow, because now it's a whole new game is about to start, a whole new opportunity where what could Bussin' With The Boys be in the next 3 to 5 years? It's a very exciting opportunity. But yeah, you're right. Like there's like it's a bittersweet moment for both of those. One thing you brought up that I want to go back to just for a second is like our different experiences we had with Bussin' With The Boys. So you got the individual offer.
Yeah, I was in like,
Barstool.
that was when year 10 was about to, we were playing up the year 10 stuff, but ultimately conversation with you, it's like, hey, this isn't going to happen. We stood up the gambling show, Bet the Bus. And from that moment, it's like, all right, there's going to be no opportunity for year 10 or the NFL or anything else. So yeah, I ended up making a deal when they extended us with Bussin' With The Boys. They're like, hey, would you be interested in doing an exclusive deal with Barstool Sports and doing all the gambling stuff? That answer was yes.
That answer was yes. And like you said, I was playing. So with the whole gambling thing where the money was coming from, like there was no way for me to really be a part of the exclusivity part.
Correct.
Which is, I think is, for me at least, a positive, because at that moment, I think if there exclusivity was available to me, I probably would have taken that. But once the knee thing and the football and all that stuff, I saw it coming to a very abrupt end. Dave did approach me. He's like, hey, if you want the same deal as Will, we can give you that same deal. For me at that point, I was loving doing this podcast, but I was also like a bit of a wandering eye in the sense of like, okay, what other experiences of entertainment can I kind of jump into, which allowed me to do the thing earlier in 2024. If I had the exclusivity of Barstool, I wouldn't be able to do that thing, that will come out in the next couple of months that we'll be able to talk about. We're not
able to say the brand, like the overall.
I don't think I would say no.
Got you.
Because there's stuff starting to get leaked out about it right now. And I'm personally, with a microphone in my face all the time, I kind of I'm doing my best to stay away from it.
Yeah.
But that information will be coming out in the next couple of months. It gave me the opportunity to kind of like see and expand on those things. So,
and dive in with NFL Network,
ESPN,
which is smart from just our perspective, because we're having our hand in different things, because you're non-exclusive.
Right.
Where I was more tied to the Barstool umbrella.
So my thought is try out these other forms of entertainment, whether it be more of a mainstream sports media or just other levels of entertainment. And that would help broaden the eyes of Bussin' With The Boys. And then all the Barstool stuff I did, like Surviving Barstool, going on Pro Football Show, I was like, well, I'm just going to do that for free. Because I love being a part of Barstool. I love going in there, but it was the exclusivity thing for me that I had a hard time with, because you just don't want to be like tied down a whole lot. So you still want to go in, do all the entertainment, have the camaraderie, the streams, all that, the back and forth and the banter, without necessarily being like, this is the only house you can kind of go and have a sleepover at.
Right.
Or
you have to ask permission for all the things that you might want to do.
So it was never for me personally, just speaking for myself, it was never like, I'm not a Barstool guy, Will's a Barstool guy. It was, we're both Barstool guys, and Will loves being a part of the ecosystem so much. He's okay with kind of having the figurative ball and chain. For me, it was like, I love doing that, and it's kind of great for the brand when we're both doing it. But there's also a couple other things that maybe I can do that aren't as lucrative from a financial standpoint, that I can maybe scratch an itch or find out, hey, this is kind of cool. I enjoy doing this. And it's kind of like, moving around and just feeling those things out. Because I don't want people to walk away from this podcast being like, Will wanted to stay, Taylor wanted to leave. It was very much, we wanted to stay. I was just really interested on what other opportunities were basically out there for us.
Yeah, I mean, we were on the same page the entire time.
Yeah, but it's nice to tell the people that we're on the same page.
Remember how nervous we were when we had to call Dave? let him know that
we sat there in the locker room studio, and literally, I remember Will like hovering his finger above it, and I'm like, just press the button. And we literally had it with the whiteboard, like, hey, these are our notes, these are our keys, these are our do's and our don'ts. Will goes to press the button, and he fucking misses. And he's like, nah, all right. And we took another
like,
5,
all right, that's
10
a sign.
minutes.
Let's take a walk. Let's take a walk. Let's take a walk.
And to Dave's point, when we called him, he's like, he was great about it. Because you see the Dave when he gets pissed off. Obviously, we've caught that a bunch.
As much as anybody.
Yeah. Getting absolutely verbally assaulted by Dave. But when it came to like this, hey, this is what we have decided to do with Bussin' With The Boys, and it happens to not be a Barstool, guy took it on the chin better than you would expect him to ever do.
Not that he was like excited, but he was like, I mean, there's a part of him that was like pumped up for us. He's like, to get this opportunity. He's like, look, you guys have to go do something like this. You just wish it would have worked out.
You do.
From his standpoint, it's like, you wish this whole thing happens, but this is kind of what happens with Barstool. You have the Alex Coopers, the Pat McAfees, the people who have exploded and went beyond Barstool. And he's like, it's just hard to keep up with the way that he wants to do business.
Yeah, and Dave
he's like, I'm not in a spot where I can overpay for something and then lose money, because then that puts a lot of pressure on people we want to keep in-house.
Right. Because, there's a lot more than just Bussin' With The Boys at Barstool Sports. Yeah. On the Unnamed show, I mean, obviously Dave had a lot of nice things to say about Bussin' With The Boys. The fact that he, him saying, and he said this to us right after we shot the finale of Surviving Barstool, being like, I've never tried harder to keep talent in my entire time at Barstool. Oh, buddy.
And I told him, I was like, that's like Vrave
that's
and
like,
all my head coaches just being like, hey, I'm proud of you guys.
Right. And that's like, that was a huge moment. And it's like, there is still a possibility, and it is very much just a possibility of us still doing things with Barstool. And it really comes down to their sponsors, our sponsors, conflict of interest. If their sponsors allow it, if our sponsors, in the writing of us going independent, all the sponsors we'll have is we're allowed to be on other shows that have similar sponsors. We just can't promote those things.
Right.
And so, we brought that up to Dave. We brought it up at Surviving Barstool. I think I said 3 or 4 times to him, we would love to do Surviving Barstool again. That would be an absolute blast. Kirk, after the show, was talking about it. Kirk was talking about that on Unnamed show. Wit and Biz, obviously, Big Cat, like, there's so many great people at Barstool to be able to kind of dip our toe still in that world and be around there, because those relationships are going to stay, whether you guys see it on camera or not. Mm-hmm. Those relationships are still going to be fully intact. We've had lots of in-depth conversations. We went to a great dinner that you and Francis got murdered for.
I know.
But honestly, one of the best dinners I think we've had in our 5 years at Barstool.
Yeah, it was a great time.
The vibes.
We shouldn't hype it up too much. Dave might be listening.
It was incredible. No, it was what it was. It was what it was. It was amazing. And yeah, Dave, I had no idea that you were even a possibility of coming. But it was touch and go with a lot of people in that dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, that was more of like, we're trying to get the entire dinner, like, hey, should we just combine everybody? A lot of people want to go to dinner. Should we just not combine everybody? But then we were locked into the reservation.
Right. That Francis made 3 months in advance.
Yeah.
Made it before the...
But it's like, and I know one thing we're not able to do on the show, because once again, we have a contract to fulfill with Barstool until Super Bowl. And that's one thing that we plan to do, is bust our ass all the way through the Super Bowl for Barstool. And it's not fair to our sponsors to talk about what we're doing or what our next steps are and who it's with. But at the end of the day, we are going independent. We'll be exclusive with sponsors, but not exclusive to like a network. To ultimately, we are independent. We can collab with whoever we want to, and we have creative freedom. We have creative control, which is exactly where Bussin' With The Boys,
which is what we've always wanted
from the very beginning, from the jump.
Yeah,
and the fact that it's came this way and we're positioned where we are, it's awesome, man. It is fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Again, we got guys that are with us in the shop, like in our own movie. If you're betting with the boys, you're winning. Like, we bet on ourselves and we're winning. And if you zoom out,
that's a figurative thing Will's saying too, because if you bet with the boys this weekend on our parlays, you lost bad. We'll be better. We will be better in that regard, by the way.
We bet on the boys and the boys are winning.
Yes.
And if you zoom out, it's like the job that we have and the shit that we get to do and the guys we have at the back of the bus, you zoom all the way out, we've already won because we're doing something that just, and we're blessed, man. We are very fortunate to be in the spot that we're in.
I think an important point to make is leaving, like, as Bussin' With The Boys, yes, we might be leaving Barstool, but our goal with every relationship we have, whether it be sponsors or companies, should always be to leave. When we do inevitably leave that company, we leave it better than we found it. And to be a part of Barstool the way we has, I think we added a lot to Barstool. We did the most we can, especially yourself being a part of the Dozen, Pro Football Show, all of those things. You added an element to Barstool that elevated Barstool. And Bussin' With The Boys helped Barstool. Barstool helped us to be able to walk away from a relationship with a smile on our face instead of tears in our eyes is a very special thing that not a lot of people.
A little gem right there.
You like that,
tears
little boy?
In our eyes. Yeah, I like that.
A lot of people, like when they leave companies, that is not necessarily how the breakups go. Like they're not. Yeah. You know, a lot of times there's anger or people feel they've been mistreated in some sort of way. And I'm sure it's on both sides. At least for us, I have not one bad thing to say about Barstool Sports.
Zero.
They're an incredible company. The way they've done it against the grain their entire lives, and it continues to succeed. And that is awesome.
And you never know. After we do our thing, you just never know.
You never know, dude. You never know. I'm little nervous about that never know, because if we do ever go back to Barstool, let's say in 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, Dave, however it worked out, Dave is going to position that as look at him come crawling back. Look at him come crawling back. I will say, in the next 3 to 5 years, we've got to get Dave somehow. I don't know how it's going to look. We've got to get his ass though. The way he got us in surviving Barstool is incredible. By the way, that's over now. Or do we feel like Rhea should have won?
It's tough.
Do we want to turn the page or do we want to stay? Do you guys want to say anything about leaving Barstool? I don't want to just switch over to a new subject without getting everybody an opportunity.
Do you guys have any questions?
Sherman, you've been here the least amount of time. Go ahead.
Okay, so least amount of time. I have several questions. I'm very confused. No, I got some frequently asked questions on the internet from stoolies, from tier ones, people that just want some clarification. The first one that I was saying is, are you guys going to be bringing the people in the back of the bus along with you? Are we Barstool employees? Are we your employees?
You guys are Bussin' With The Boys employees. Are you just learning that? I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
No, I didn't know.
That was like, it's like, you talk about the how you get to this point, how we're positioned where we are. Like along the way, you realize, like, during the second negotiation with Barstool, when we extended, there was a conversation out there like, hey, we can make your guys Barstool employees, and then you guys could just take them if we were to ever break up. And my response was like, no, I would love for them to just be Bussin' With The Boys employees. So having everybody in house and being able to operate independently, if a hard breakup ever did happen in the middle of chaos, it's like we would have everybody in house with us to kind of operate on our own if that had ever happened. So for clarification for everybody asking that question, yes, everybody that works with Bussin' With The Boys, they are Bussin' With The Boys employees. They get benefits. We treat them well. That could be debatable if you give Mitch the microphone.
No, we get treated well.
The other question is our shop, like this studio, are we going to have to move? Is this Barstool's, like, what all is going to change show-wise? Are we still going to have the same structure of the locker room, Bussin' With The Boys, fall and spring tour?
Nothing changes. Like everything in Nashville, we own. This bus is ours. The equipment's ours. Like we own everything. That nothing is going to change. We're going to keep the programming the same unless we decide ourselves we're going to change the programming. So like Will commented on, I've commented on, we have complete creative freedom. We have the ability to do what we want. This is our show. This show is going to stay the same show. It'll always be Bussin' With The Boys.
The shop and everything you know about Bussin' With The Boys is remaining intact.
When you watch this content, it'll look the exact same.
And shout out to Barstool, because the creative freedom that they did allow you guys and Bussin' With The Boys, it allowed you guys to be able to build this apparatus and kind of build the structure. So it really is cool that they are really kind of sending y'all off and launching y'all in a sense.
It's a good point. Barstool, when we first started, I think they were kind of pressing us about coming to New York or going to Chicago when Chicago happened, because Dave's point is like, people who are like independent or like away from HQ, a lot of times it does not work out. So that's, a tip of the cap to Barstool for trusting us with creative freedom to allow us to do what we're doing. It's tip of the cap to you guys making the content great, to us traveling around doing stuff and keeping, our foot on the pedal every single day about getting more content done and doing more stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of good factors there, especially Barstool letting us kind of stay in-house.
And that was it for questions asked on the internet.
All right.
Do you guys in the back have any questions or thoughts?
Question for y'all. What's the thing you'll miss most about being
under the Barstool shield?
It's just like leaving ball, man. It's the camaraderie.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are still ongoing conversations for potentials of that in the Barstool world. But definitely, yeah, it's the locker room. It's all the relationships. Like, there's so many relationships, people on camera, people behind the camera, going into Barstool HQ, seeing Caitlin Walker and Paige and just embracing everybody that's there. Like, there's a lot of good people over at Barstool. And so that's definitely what we will miss the most.
Yeah, it's a locker room. It's a story. Like, you see the storylines on the internet, and then the next day you're in Chicago, and you're just feeling all of those things happen in real time. Being around everybody and the people in the behind the camera too. Awesome, awesome squad. So there's more than just in front of the camera there.
Can we speed run a tier talk real quick? Best or top 3 Barstool employees from y'all's personal experience.
Oh my God!
You're just gonna put us on the spot.
Go.
Yeah, I got like 6 in my head that came up.
We could do that, or you could do least favorite. So your choice.
I mean, favorites. I don't want to like hurt people's feelings,
Right?
Because I enjoy so many people in the Barstool world. I really do.
We can just give out. So we can just give shout outs if you want. Like, I've personally come to mind.
But then when you do that, then
like a
it's like,
cop-out.
what if we leave somebody off the list?
True. All right. Least favorite, Lil Sass. Onward. Onward. Nah, I fuck with Lil Sass. Do you want to? That's a scary world to go down.
Because I've enjoyed. I have
content.
Who's number 1? Who's your favorite?
Number 1 favorite,
Yeah.
dude. I got 3 that are my favorites.
So tier talk.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like I don't want to.
I feel like your favorite and your least favorite is probably Dave.
for sure.
He's both.
Yeah.
No, he.
So that takes away some of the pain for somebody else that maybe could have been last.
Nicky Clicky's up there for your boy. Nick Tarani. Big shots at Nick Tarani.
dude,
I love
Nick
Nick
is a
All right,
Tarani.
Nick, you're number 3.
Hey, what about Roan though?
I know.
Roan, Francis, Witt,
Biz.
like
Kirk.
Kirk. Well, maybe for you.
Yeah.
After what Kirk did, I actually fuck with Kirk a lot, but just the lying to my
Yeah,
face,
yeah.
even after we were eliminated,
Yeah.
surviving. is
5
crazy.
starters, 5 bench players. Your roster, your basketball roster.
I mean, yeah, if you're going 5 stars, you got to go Witt, Big Cat, Dave, Kirk.
Biz.
Yeah, but as far as like mingling around the entire time, like Biz is off doing his own thing. I love Biz.
No, I'm putting Biz in my starting 5. That boy was a rider in surviving. Was a rider.
You got 1 spot left, Will, on your starters.
Probably Jerry. Love Jerry.
So repeat them real quick.
Dave, Witt, Kirk, Big Cat, and Jerry.
Starters.
My
Taylor.
bench players who we have on the roster,
Yeah.
Tarani. I like Mark Titus. Francis, Roan. I said Tarani.
Stephen Shea make your team?
I like Stephen Shea, man.
He's a
Shea
sweet
and I've
boy.
had a bunch of good conversations.
Gruden.
I don't know, dude.
I still ain't about Biz.
I feel like we're missing somebody.
I know, that's what
That's
I'm
the
saying. I'm trying to
problem.
like think through it all.
Favorite by show.
It's like I love KB. Fights. Oh man, if I would have forgot fights, yeah. Yeah, that would have been bad. The booze ponies. Dana Beers, love Dana Beers. Doesn't make the cut, love Dana Beers. Jeff D. Lowe.
Just a good squad, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor.
I mean, mine would be Witt, Biz, Dave, Roan. Maybe a recency bias, but Francis. I think a recency bias in a big way. Obviously, the podcast and then the dinner.
Man, Stu.
Rico. Stu's in my
Rico?
5.
Hey,
Rico is not in my top 10.
Let Taylor do it. Let Taylor do it.
I do like Rico. I just think he's such a fucking puppet.
He is, but you gotta love him. You gotta love him for who he is.
The
man.
text you showed me of him trying to come at you and then you being like, no, and here's why. And him just saying, fair.
Yeah, I just said you realize I wanted you out of the game,
Just
right?
crazy.
Okay, yeah, fair. Shout out the rioters.
Yeah. Yeah. probably spending the most, like a lot of time with him. Jerry, Nick and I went through a phase all of last year, texting each other every Wednesday. Hope you had a great week or have a good rest of the week. How many do I have now? That's like 7.
But Stu,
yeah, Stu's in there. Stu is just a vibrant personality. But I feel like I would never go on a trip with Stu. I think a long 3-day weekend with Stu would be a little too much for me.
Taylor, what about Chef Donnie?
Dude, Chef
Donnie.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Garrett. Yes.
Riggs.
Brandon Walker?
There's a place for Brandon Walker.
Yeah, there's a place for Brandon Walker.
Walker.
I love Brandon Walker.
Yeah, the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Kate, Za, Marty Mush,
Keegs?
Now Kelly's out for me.
Casey.
Casey's a sweetheart.
I mean, I liked Megan.
You're good, bro.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm thinking of more names now. Like there's so many people that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, Caleb.
Caleb.
Caleb was solid.
He said moves.
Yeah, I think I got 10 right.
Yeah, Tommy. Tommy Smokes.
No. I do love Tommy. Yeah. We feel good?
That was tough. Good for you. Yeah.
We done with that?
Shout out you guys putting us in that spot.
I would never rank the people.
How about for you guys? What would you be your starting 5?
Fasoli, Tom Lee,
Tom Lee. Shout
Justin
out Tom
Mancini.
Seagal,
Mancini, Nick Mulcahy.
Just production grinders.
Yeah.
Spider.
Spider's our favorite
That's a
talent.
good one.
Fuck. Large.
Lee. Large is fun.
Large was. Well, moving away from ranking, what about like best memories from like a single trip or like a day or a shoot? Could be like the case race type stuff. You'll have like where you're like, this is Barstool. Like this is what I imagined when we signed with Barstool being a part of.
Winning, surviving season 3.
100 grand.
Case race with the Yak. That first case race was Shane. And then even though Michigan boat raced us in Nebraska, but when we did the college football show and we were and just yelling back and forth.
That's a good 30.
Yeah.
March Madness betting last year was fun, even though I lost my ass and everything. But
Doing surviving is probably, you just see all the relationships. You see everybody's like kind of tiffs they have under the radar too, that they kind of just open up, and you see everyone kind of just getting in a pack mentality of hating one person or loving one person. I love that.
Camp Barstool
would be up there, but that's so recent. The dinner and the live show we did in Nebraska. Yeah, with Dave, the 45 minutes.
That
I thought
was even.
that was
I'm
so
over on
much fun.
Dinner with Dave.
Over. The Super Bowl, not last year, but the year before in Arizona. Yeah, that was awesome, dude.
Yeah, that was fun. Where they had the content house going.
Yeah, I think that was peak. Jeffree Star. Yeah, Jeffree Star. But yeah, those.
You had a case race too.
Yeah, it wasn't really a case race. It was like a jungle juice race.
Yeah,
just got absolutely, they got the sheet pulled out from under me.
Yeah.
They were throwing Skittles and Nerds and shit in there. Shit was delicious.
Yeah.
I was fucked up.
You don't have to make a list, but maybe your favorite and least favorite stoolie burner on Twitter.
I don't know him.
You would be,
that's a sure. Yeah,
you'd be
that's a
the answer
question
for
for
both
you.
of those for me.
I would be the answer.
What's your favorite stoolie burner, Sherm?
What's your answer to the question?
Favorite Joey Fats.
Is he a burner?
Is that's not a burner?
He's just like a guy.
He's a stoolie burner.
But it's his identity on his Twitter. That's
Yeah.
not a burner.
All right.
Yes.
Will's Bulge. Will's Bulge.
Do we know who that is? You guys know who that is.
Nobody knows who it is.
It's gotta be him.
It's not me. Least.
That wasn't convincing at all. That's definitely you.
Oh, I got one more. Ohio State, Michigan last year in Ann Arbor with Dave
Oh,
and Big
yeah.
Ev. That was a fucking
yeah,
moment. That was awesome. That's right.
I think I was the only one that was with you.
Yeah, it was just you and me.
Yeah.
You could see how much Mitch didn't care that Ohio State lost too. It was
No,
he-
I was.
It was so
petrified.
irrelevant to him. He was like, "Oh, that's awesome, dude. Congrats."
No, I was when we were in the house. I had like my red on underneath my stuff.
Yeah,
but
you
I-
had stuff on. I'm saying
I
your
did not.
your emotional attitude at the end of the game was not of a fan. Yeah,
I did not want Dave to turn his sights onto me because I would have been fucked.
he had a lot to deal with Big Ev.
We forgot to mention PFT.
Fuck. Because hey, PFT and shout
This was brutal. Hank. Max.
Ooh, Hank. Rhea.
Yeah, not top 10, but like still
you messed with
awesome
them.
dudes. Yeah.
I do have my least favorite burner. Huge shout out to Asphalt Mercenary. Change your profile to your name. Let it be known, or open up your DMs. You're a fucking coward. I want to talk. I see you
I
in
wanna
everybody's
talk.
mentions talking shit. Just open up those DMs. Let's have a chat. Asphalt Mercenary.
Put him on blast. What town's he in?
How's Ohio?
How's Ohio?
How's
going?
Ohio, buddy? We got friends.
Guys feel good?
You feel good? Hey,
Also,
We-
if you guys have questions, put them in the comments. If we see a bunch of like common ones, we can re-hit it next week
yeah.
in the intro.
Yeah, because we're trying to hit everything.
Yeah.
Moment of silence. Bussin' With The Boys, leaving Barstool Sports. Thank you, Barstool.
Round of applause, Barstool Sports.
Round of applause. Nice. Playoff football?
Playoff football.
Playoff football, dude. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Commanders are in the NFC Championship. What's up? What you got, Sherm?
We actually have a very important announcement that
Okay.
I'm pulling up. We totally forgot to do this. Sorry, guys. Important announcement is
Come on, we're losing people.
game time.
Game time. The playoffs are here. And there's no better time to get out of some games with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time. And now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through the thousands of tickets. NFL playoffs are in full swing, and we've got some great matchup for fans to go see live and in person. Go ahead and check out Washington at Philly. Also check out the Bills at Kansas City. Just go to the Game Time picks. They have great seats. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT pick setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? Go buy those Eagles tickets. Go buy those Chiefs tickets now with the help of Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BUSSIN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUSSIN, BUSSIN, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time. You brought up two teams in the Game Time app, Eagles and Chiefs. Are those your two teams to go to the Super Bowl?
No, I want Bills and Commanders.
Who would you want out of that?
Commanders.
Okay.
Commanders.
All right.
Dude, imagine Washington winning the Super Bowl this year. After
Yeah,
all
it'd be
the
sick.
shit that they've been in the last however many years.
Selling
bro.
the team, all the scandals going on, how bad they've been. They haven't been to a playoff game since 2015.
Yeah, it's like a new organization, new staff, new players. Like
Right.
it's what they've done in 1 year is nothing short of incredible.
No rookie has gone to the Super Bowl. Is that a real stat?
And Jayden Daniels is so
Bro,
good.
smooth,
And, dude, and
poised, confident, all of it.
the journey of Dan Quinn, like he was hated in Atlanta. And everybody
Yes.
was like, this dude is not a head coach. He's only a defensive coordinator. Seattle's the only good thing he did. And then now took the Commanders to conference championship.
And they love him.
Backwards
Just
hat Dan.
The couple connections I still have inside the building at Washington, they love Dan Quinn. Like from chefs to the cleaning ladies, everybody loves him. And the great thing, it's like I'm so happy for those people in that building, because when you win in the playoffs, like you get bonus checks, like you get playoff checks. And so my boy Chad Englehart, who's been a strength coach there, he's been with that organization for 14 or 15 years. For him to taste what like the Chiefs get every year inside that building, the Patriots, what they got for their strength staff, like the people that work in the facility also get bonus checks for advancing in the playoffs. So I'm so fired up for the Washington Commanders right now. The fact that they've made it to this point, like upsetting arguably the best team in the NFL in the Detroit Lions at Detroit, is crazy.
Is that all the way down to like equipment staff as well?
I think everybody gets a bonus.
I think
everyone
equipment
gets a bonus.
staff, yeah. Training staff.
The equipment staff, if the Commanders are doing it correctly, the equipment staff should have gotten taken care of by the players. Because they usually
Christmas
do
bonuses,
Christmas bonuses. They should, and usually the equipment staff and the trainers kind of get the most of that.
Strength
the bulk
staff,
of that.
yeah.
This is crazy for Jayden Daniels. This is from Kyle Brandt. Rookie QBs to start a title game and where their team's scoring defense is ranked. Brock Purdy first, Mark Sanchez third, Joe Flacco third, Roethlisberger first, Sean King third, Jayden Daniels 18th.
Yeah, man.
Just crazy.
So
and
it's
that
like on him.
defense turned it on when
They
it came
did.
to
In a
turnovers
big
yesterday.
way. In a big way. God.
Just had no fear, bro.
They really didn't. The Lions had so many weapons on the field. Gibbs was going all over the place. Like, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was incredible to watch. And dude, the poise of Jayden Daniels, like I just touched on it a little bit, but the dude, to be in the position he is as a rookie, learning a little bit about his story, being at ASU, he transfers to LSU, wins the Heisman, but when he's transferring out of ASU, that viral video that took place, they're like, yeah, fuck you, get out of here, you piece of shit. All that. Yeah, and he has just handled business. No one really talked about him in the draft. Yeah, he's taken really high, but like there was Caleb Williams' draft. Nobody was really thinking about Jayden Daniels. He was an afterthought. And for him to take these guys to the NFC Championship and not only take a team to the NFC Championship, but take a team that has been struggling and hurting for so long from the top down is as cool as it gets.
They haven't been to an NFC Championship in 33 years.
I think Russ Grimm was on the football team
Yeah.
when they went to a championship. How nuts is that? Shout out Russ Grimm, by the way. One of the greatest coaches I've ever had in my entire life.
Dan Orlovsky called it too. They resurfaced the video before. He was like, if I'm the Chicago Bears, I would look at Jayden Daniels.
Yeah, I saw that.
And here we are. I bet the Chicago Bears do want Jayden Daniels.
And you just see him sitting on the sideline too. It just looks like there's ice in his veins, like as he's calmly sitting there. Because again, you're up on Detroit. I think they were up 10 on them at halftime, and you're sitting there like, okay, Detroit's probably going to come back.
Time for them to
Even
turn
when
on.
there's 5 or 4 minutes left in the game and they're down by 2 scores, you're thinking, all right, how is Detroit going to make this happen?
Even the announcers, when they were talking about it, they're like, you got to feel like time's running out just a little bit for the Lions. And you're thinking any other football team, you're like, they're done. They're dead.
over.
It's
Yeah.
over. But truly, no one believed the Lions were going to lose that game until the clock struck 0.
Yeah.
It is nuts, man.
And as happy as I am for Washington, I felt terrible for Detroit.
Especially that woman that showed us around in Detroit.
Yeah.
God.
You just know the fans, you know, Dan Campbell. Like
Aiden Hutchinson.
they have a great staff. They have players. They have leaders. They have culture. They have everything that was ready to go to the Super Bowl
And
this
Jared
year.
Goff is such a great dude, too. Obviously, having him on the show and the game he played yesterday, you know, he's just kicking himself for all of that, dude. It's tough. It is. And then, who knows what's going to happen to the Lions after this? People are saying Ben Johnson is as good as gone.
Aaron Glenn,
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, they've been doing interviews for head coaching jobs. So
And
they
so-
could be gone. You just don't know. Like, man, when you get to the playoffs, like these opportunities are it's so massive to take advantage of. And Washington's dangerous, bro.
They are dangerous. But the thing that scares me a little bit is that defense being 18th. They're playing with their hair on fire right now, but it is nuts what Jayden Daniels is able to accomplish with a defense that is not in the top 10, top 5 of the NFL. That's what you usually see.
But you know it, bro. Like, making it to the NFC Championship, whether or not you were a bottom tier defense throughout most of the year, like catching some fire in the playoffs, like having no fear going out there and taking down the Lions,
Right.
beating the Bucks, who everybody picked the Bucks, beating the Lions, everybody picked the Lions. Like, you're sitting there, you just have a boulder on your shoulder. You're like, you're ready to go. You're like anywhere, any place, anytime.
And you're in a brand new week where everyone's going to be picking the Eagles. And it's like you just continue to be the underdog after just being the best team in the NFL by 2 scores. I hope it happens for them.
Yeah.
I think
hope
they
it
can take
does.
down the Eagles, bro.
But
to me, it's the Eagles are clearly the better team than the Rams. Rams had some life; they could have upset them, like all that stuff.
I think that weather really big.
Yeah, but you know, Washington was sitting there before the game, wanting the Eagles to win because you know they're like, we want the fucking Eagles in the NFC Championship.
Absolutely,
we want the in-division rivalry in the NFC Championship.
That is
give us the
awesome.
best team.
Give us the best team.
Last crazy Jayden Daniels stat. In NFL history, there has been 3 instances of teams having 0 turnovers and 0 punts in a game behind a rookie starting QB. All 3 were by Jayden Daniels. He did it in week 2, week 3, and then last night.
Golly, man.
Special.
No turnovers, no punts.
Special.
And Cliff Kingsbury, him as the OC, they like those two were just made for each other.
Dude, had a little time off with the went to the Cardinals, had a little time off in Taiwan for a little bit, took himself a year and a half. Now he's back.
Yeah.
Rejuvenated, back in the South. Probably took some ayahuasca. Probably decided to go on a little bit of a journey of his own. But having a guy like Kingsbury who understands that type of offense to put Jayden Daniels in, it's perfect, dude. And the way they're utilizing Austin Eckler too. Like, he was awesome. I had him in one of my parlays. He had to be over 25 yards receiving. The first drive, he catches a screen or like one of those little toss-out bubble passes for 24 yards. And Jayden Daniels does an incredible job looking at the defense, looking at his first read, his second read, finding the check down, getting out of harm's way, not taking insane hits. He's not as great as Lamar is in that sense we saw in the game against the Bucs. But the kid just has he's got his wits about him. Mm-hmm. He just understands it. You would love to see it. You would love to see them go all the way.
They have the right mix of vets. You were talking Eckler, you got Ertz, you got Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. Bobby Wagner.
Scary Terry.
Who was a menace also.
Yeah.
My one buddy said that when like Jayden Daniels is what Cliff Kingsbury wanted Kyler Murray to be when he drafted him in Arizona.
Well, for sure. I mean, look at Jayden Daniels, bro.
Yeah.
But like they're kind of similar in like their what they can do, but Jayden Daniels is just like cool, calm, and collected. And
God, I hope Jayden can sustain this type of success. That would be so elite because I would hate it for Washington fans. If something horrible were to happen, we're not even going to go into the details of it, but the history essentially repeating itself would suck. Yeah. Would be shitty.
But if you're in that building and you got number 5, Jayden Daniels in there, you got to be feeling good about staying put with your family for the next decade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're going home to your family being like, go ahead. Yep, we'll buy that house actually because we're going to be here.
Yeah, we have a quarterback.
Yeah, if you have a quarterback, you're solid.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to interrupt this episode real quick to bring you Men's Whole Body Deo. Very beautiful. As you prepare to host game day celebrations, what are some of those whole body odor related issues you may encounter that make you feel a little less confident in your hosting duties? You're afraid to take your shoes off while entering your friend's house? Getting nervous your team is down at halftime? That type of thing. You'll perspire. Exciting things happen during a game. What happens? Little sweat glands start to open up, making you maybe a little more sneaky than you like to be. Tackle whole body odor with Dove Men Plus Care Whole Body Deo. This is a whole body deo. It defends against all of your body zones, from pits to privates to feet. It's like the old school head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Pits, privates, and feet. Defend against your it's long-lasting with 72-hour odor protection. You can find Dove Men Whole Body Deo at Walmart today. Let's get back to that episode. I did see, I don't know who was talking about this. I'll have to remember it and then maybe tweet it out later because I don't want to take someone's information. But they were talking about all of the vacant head coaching jobs. And the best one was the Patriots. Having a guy like Drake May, you think you got a guy in that. Mike Vrabel obviously gets that job. He was the best candidate, and that was essentially the best team to kind of take over in that instance. The other teams that are vacant right now, the Bears can't find a way to win. The Jets are having a hard time. The Raiders have an owner that has been reported that he like yells at assistant coaches on the plane, like very, very
impatient.
Short term. Yeah, very impatient. The New Orleans Saints, you don't know what's really going on there. The Cowboys, it's like the offensive line is a little bit older. Dak Prescott, is he who are the haters kind of right in that instance right now? Jacksonville, it's a really tough place to go and try to revamp a franchise with these teams being your choice if you're a head coach candidate or a top head coach candidate like Ben Johnson. There might be a world, if I'm Ben Johnson, of being like, there might be better head coaching opportunities next year, and you've got a hell of an offense coming back for you in the Lions. Why not just stay one more year? Why not stay and win a great opportunity? Because you once you get a head coaching job, you can revive it. Like Vrabel did a great job with that for a while. Was it McDermott and the Bills? He did a great job with that. But like very rarely you see a head coach come into a struggling franchise and be able to turn it around. Why not wait for maybe a historic franchise to kind of have a little bit of a turnover, like a Matt LaFleur did when he had the Packers with Aaron Rodgers.
If Steelers do the same thing next year, if the Steelers go out,
the Steelers, they're in a weird position because the Steelers are kind of only doing this. They're kind of on that down slide right now where we could see them not making the playoffs next year. That division's stronger. You might live in a place as one of the OCs if you're Ben Johnson, looking at a team like the Bengals, where that vacancy might be there if it continues to have those struggles. You don't make the playoffs, and you got a guy like Joe Burrow, who his only real knock is the injuries that have taken place for him.
Yeah.
So there's a nice little couple of maybes ripping around.
You saw
you stay is what I'm saying, Ben.
You saw the local boy Eddie George. He interviewed for the Bears job.
Yeah, the Bears are kind of interviewing like everybody right now.
Yeah, I heard they had one in. They wanted to with Marcus Freeman. There was rumors of them trading for Mike Tomlin. Bears are probably trying to do everything. Dude, I would love to see, I'll just say this, I would love to see Deion Sanders be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I would love it.
That would be a very Cowboys thing to do as well. Like of all the franchises, that is where you see that happen.
I mean,
and then
think about it too. He had all his success. He had a lot of his successes with the Cowboys, also the 49ers. But even Atlanta, can't sleep on Atlanta. Going back to Dallas, Deion going back to Dallas, you got Vrabel going to the Patriots. You have all these old players kind of coaching their old teams.
That's awesome.
That would be sick.
That would be awesome to see.
Deion Sanders with Jerry Jones.
I was just about to say,
unique.
His personality type is maybe the only one that could really kind of stand up to Jerry and kind of put up with
that or blow up in 6 months.
Or
might be the only time Jerry turns around and fires a coach early instead of late.
But Jerry does love him. I mean,
Jerry,
obviously for the past, but like he personally does love Deion. So maybe it, match made in heaven.
Right, like a personality like that, Deion would be the only guy that Jerry would consider because they know each other so well. That one would be sick.
A lot of interesting things happening. A lot.
How about the Eagles and Rams? How about that snow? We were just talking about the Commanders. They're playing the Eagles next week. Like that snow game, dude. All the football games this weekend with the cold weather outside of Detroit, but just having the elements kind of affect the game because it did for the Eagles. I mean, their defense kind of bailed them out in a lot of situations. Saquon Barkley's a fucking menace, bro.
A menace.
Jalen Carter. Zach Bond. Dude, Zach Bond is
the one
baller,
series Zach
bro.
Bond had was maybe the greatest series for a linebacker ever.
When he had that TFL and then tipped the pass.
Pass, and then I think he got a sack next. Yeah. It just crazy, dude.
Did y'all see Jalen Carter went up to Jared Verse before the game, and then obviously he was like trying to bet on the game.
Yeah, put your check on it. Put your playoff check on it.
And you just hear Verse, but I'll keep that 77 for next week.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dave, but yeah, Jalen Carter.
Verse was going off too.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean,
he was like
both of
a
them,
lot
bro.
of plays.
Jalen Carter is really him. You cannot block him one-on-one right now. I mean, they put up a nice little stat, I think, on like 15 pass snaps. When they slid to him, no pressures. They had a double team on him. They had a center guard on him. On the 8 snaps he had where he was one-on-one, he had a sack, like 3 pressures, and a couple of hits. Like he is one of those guys where it's like we have a big problem here. And Verse as well. I mean, he only had 4.5 sacks this year, but the guy, the way he operates on the field, he is going to do this. Khalil Mack, how many sacks did he have his rookie year for the Raiders? 4.5.
They have him winning the defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a stud.
And then AJ Brown, he might actually be locked in. You saw what whip he pulled up in.
Yeah, the
Chevy
Honda Accord.
No, the Honda Accord.
He might be locked in. What's the name of the book? Inner Excellence.
You see the guy walking out holding the flag. He was holding the book in the air.
Yeah, he was holding the book with it. Those sales, are through the roof.
Yeah.
And Gilly.
The Rams, bro.
You gotta love Gilly.
You got to think if the weather is a little more clear, the Rams might win that game. There's so many plays where the ball is bouncing off guys' hands, bouncing off their chest. Puka Nacua, one off the top of my head, it was like a 3rd and 8. Gets great separation on an out right at the sideline, through his hands, bounce off the ground. It's just, you got to be punching the air right now. And Sean McVay, dude, they're coaching because from a talent standpoint, you're looking at Eagles. Eagles are up here. Rams are kind of down here. They're missing, Eagles might be missing one guy if they don't do it this year. Rams are missing 4 or 5 guys to really be like, okay, this is a talented roster that you can win a Super Bowl with. The coaching and the understand, and then obviously Matthew Stafford. Those are the 2 things, the 2 keys that kept them in this game. And if the weather was clear, we could be looking at Rams Commanders in the NFC Championship. But that run game, because the thing that kind of threw me off a little bit was with the weather the way it was, they had 2 explosive plays early in the game, and then the Rams kind of showed up in a big way. They started to get more exotic with their blitzes. They started to only rush 3 or 4, not bringing blitzes sometimes. They were less predictable in their calling. And the Eagles kind of couldn't figure it out from a rushing standpoint.
Yeah, and then Kyron had that.
Takes the safety. Hurts gets hurt in the middle of it. So there's like a lot of different variables that the snow helped them out a lot with.
But even in that first game too, it's like once you get to that second half, the Eagles have such a roster for the second half because they can lean on you. They run the ball more effectively in the second half.
Right. Do you see the picture of Lane Johnson?
I don't know.
So Lane Johnson had a photo of stats, side-by-side stats between him and Penei Sewell, because Penei Sewell got first team all right tackle. And it was like, I mean, the stats, if they are correct, were completely lopsided towards Lane Johnson.
Oh, really?
You have to pull it up because I don't want to butcher it, but it was like passer win rate, sacks given up, pressures, run blocking, all these things. Yeah, sacks allowed, Lane Johnson 0, Penei 1. Pressures allowed, 6 for Lane, 25 for Penei. Quarterback hits, 1-5. It's just all these stats are in the favor of Lane Johnson. And you see this, like that is the ultimate athlete. That's that Michael Jordan type of mentality where something doesn't go your way. And it's like, fuck it, I'm taking this personal.
Yeah.
Because the Lions, like, there is a lot of like bias towards teams that are surging and have a lot of the media behind them. You look at 2016 with the Titans, we were 2-14, 14, 3-13, and then 2016 we go 9-7. Kind of have that surge of success. We had 9 guys make the Pro Bowl. Your boy was included, so maybe I got myself a little bump there. Maybe I wasn't as good as people thought, but we got it, right? So it is, it'll be interesting to see that play out for Lane and have him talk about it a little bit. I'd love to get him on the show and talk about that.
Yeah.
How often with Saquon like calling his run, do y'all have any? Obviously, you have your Mettenberger story, but like, how often do guys go out there and be like on defense, like, hey, I'm about to get a turnover this series, or like, I'm about to go for a tug right here? Does it happen that often?
It probably happens more series than not.
Right.
It's when it actually happens, like, oh, fuck, they called it, Because there's always a guy that's like, watch me get a pick right here, and it's like they score a touchdown, I'm about to get a sack. And it's like, all right, well, you were hemmed up for a minute, weren't you, buddy? But being able to call your shot. Just keep calling shots. That's a good lesson. Every series, go out and call your shot, and then when it happens, you'd be like, I'll legitimate him.
He did say that.
Yeah, he said it out loud.
Yeah.
He said it also the other 15 series, but it's all good.
That run was so electric.
Dude.
Bro, what happened to Cooper Kupp? His fall off is unreal.
Injuries.
Yeah, I mean, you get the injuries.
And Mitch Carsey not using the mic.
bit.
Mitch is asking about Cooper Kupp. What happened? His fall off is unreal. His words, not mine.
Yeah, I mean, he was the Triple Crown winner, 2 or 3 years ago, and now he like, I think last time he only had 1 reception. The game before that, he maybe had 2.
Fixed his teeth.
Well, no, I mean, they're trying to get Puka the ball more than
I was
him.
going to say, in the surges of Puka, I mean, the Eagles DBs are strapped up, ready to go. Like, they're challenging guys. They're breaking up plays. The snow, obviously, is a factor.
But I'm saying you could have them two as like a dynamic duo, like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, but they're not even really trying to get him the ball, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a great question.
Great question.
Great question.
Cooper Kupp
man.
coming to the Titans, right?
I mean, shit.
Let's get him over here. Oh, you're not feeling the love over there? Come on, bub. Come over to Nashville.
Should we talk about this iconic AFC matchup that we're getting again? Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, man,
written in the stars. God loves football.
God loves football. Do you want to talk about that matchup, or you want to talk about those games?
And we can talk about the games. Dude, I cannot believe the Bills got the Ravens, man.
I know.
I mean, I can believe it, but I just, it was in such a fashion with the Ravens and the playoffs and.
Mark Andrews' suicide.
Oh,
dude, I feel so bad for Mark Andrews, because he's a good player. He's a great player.
Fantastic player. But that 2-point, man.
Can't imagine what some of those Ravens fans are in his DM saying.
Oh, bro.
Horrible things. Because people are so quickly to forget
Horrible.
how much he's done for the franchise.
Ugh.
It's brutal. Just brutal, man. And if you feel for Derek, he was moving, grooving. Lamar had a couple of playoff Lamar plays that kind of bit him in the ass.
Who's the other running back for Baltimore? Justice Hill.
Justice Hill was having a game, bro. Yeah. Tell you what, that Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. Speaking of touchdowns, we got the DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is the key to winning in the NFL playoffs, and the key to you scoring big is betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. If you're ready to place your first bet, try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Just go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's another reason to watch your favorite players crush it in the playoffs. New customers that bet $5 will get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Score big during the NFL playoffs with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BUS. That's code BUS, B-U-S, for new customers to get $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
I've got to get LASIK. Watching you read that, I was like following along with you, but it was I'd have to lean up.
It's a Resi, 2025 Resi.
Yeah, 2025 Resi. Got to get that locked in.
But yeah, I
the Ravens, man, you're sick for them because you really thought in the stat we had at locker room, 28 years old, 12 years apart, Dilford, Flacco, Lamar. Might be a good omen.
Yeah.
Might be a good omen because now next year you can win it and you're shaking it up. You don't have to wait another 12 years.
Josh Allen's inevitable, man. Like they were.
It seems like Patrick Mahomes is inevitable.
The refs are inevitable. Dude, think about it. You watch that game. You know some of those play calls were crazy.
When it was 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 11, and they get a roughing the passer call, and it was so clear where the commentator's talking about the rule guy comes on and he's saying this is ridiculous, that should not be a call. There was such a light shined on the calls in favor of the Chiefs in this game that might have been the equalizer for this AFC Championship. You know, sometimes you see the NFL and they'll have like a new rule that they put in place for that year, so that all of a sudden, like the first 4 weeks, the games are kind of ruined because of that rule. I feel like such a light has been shined on the Chiefs and the rules that the flags that go in their favor. We might see a nice little script flipped going into this AFC Championship. We might see it.
Maybe. I mean, they got 2 calls that series, like when they hit Patrick Mahomes and he was kind of like, you know, he's kind of running around a little bit, playing it slow, and then drops down. They don't even really hit him that hard, and then they get another roughing or a personal foul. The hip drop tackle on the Texans tight end.
Just crazy.
They don't get that call early in the game.
I did see some comments that only one was called like in week 6 or something like that. It has kind of like gone away.
Yeah.
That call, but still that is clearly a hip drop tackle.
Yeah.
Hip drop tackle. That is clearly a flag, a penalty. Troy Aikman came out. He was being pretty clear about the way Patrick Mahomes the way he gets out of bounds. And I saw PMT talking about it a little bit.
Down.
They're saying Pat is too good to be doing some gimmicky shit like that. Personally, I disagree.
He whines a lot, though, bro.
Dude.
There's one time where he got a couple calls and he's yelling at the rest, throw the flag. It's like, dog, you get every flag.
He gets every flag. The thing is here's my thought on the running out of bounds thing. This is a Vrabalism. Good teams know the rules. Great teams use the rules to their advantage.
Yeah.
If you are living in a world where it is so difficult to put your hands on the quarterback without getting a flag, if you're a quarterback and you're in these crunch time games, use every single angle, use every single thing you can take, every little 1%.
Sure.
To get the benefit of the doubt call. What they need to do from a league standpoint is make it more cut and dry, black and white. They talked about using instant replay for some of these calls, like the roughing the passer. You can also use it in a big way for guys getting out of bounds. So integrate that rule. But if I'm
even
Pat,
for face masks, there's a couple that
rule is implemented though. Mahomes just always gets the call.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Mahomes, I'm not changing a thing. You are knocking on the door of having a 3-peat.
Yeah.
You're not changing.
No,
bro.
him himself, he's doing it right. It's just the fans watching. You're just
right.
You just want to pull your hair out.
That's why people hate LeBron, right? He's always flopping. 6'7", 260 pounds of just pure American twisted steel. Yet he wants to flop.
Yeah.
If I'm LeBron, things are not going. I'm going to do that too.
Yeah.
It's just kind of what it is.
I saw on Twitter, somebody said, out of all the things that people disagree on, politics, climate change, all that kind of shit, there's one thing that we've all agreed on is that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs get every fucking call.
That is.
They do get so
clear
many,
as day
man.
right now, man. Clear as day.
But there was a similar thing in the Ravens-Bills game, I think, or it was one of the other games where quarterback runs out of bounds and there's a late tackle. I think it was a tackle on Lamar. And whoever was calling the game was like, yesterday, during Patrick Mahomes' game, this was a flag. How is this not carried over?
I mean, the shot that Jared
Lamar.
Goff took, if Mahomes takes that shot, that's a penalty.
Right.
He got
and those
protect your best asset. NFL is like, that's our greatest asset right now.
It's
Chiefs are in a great spot, dude. Everyone in the world is rooting for the Bills to unseat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are in a great position to be the villain, be able to three-peat, all of that stuff. But we're all going to be sitting there.
You're rooting for the
AFC
Chiefs.
Championship. No, I'm rooting for the Bills. I'm rooting for the Bills.
Yeah,
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
He
Taylor
does.
wants to see that
If the Chiefs beat the Bills, I would like to see a three-peat, yes. But I'd like to see the Bills get their first championship. I'd like to see the Bills win it all. I like to see Josh Allen, them boys.
You want Chiefs over Commanders?
I would. I'd probably think Chiefs over Commanders.
Josh Allen.
Because for the ability to see, we've never witnessed a three-peat in our entire lives. The history of the NFL, it's never happened.
My hate aside, that would be cool to witness.
Yeah.
A three-peat. But that's like the bottom.
And in my mind, it's like you've got a rookie quarterback. When you have a talented rookie quarterback, you're in such a good position because your cap is not all fucked up because you're paying them $1 billion. Like, we might never see the chance for a three-peat to happen again. The way the Commanders are looking right now, I would be more optimistic that you guys are going to be in a seat of power for a long time, given that Jayden Daniels stays healthy. And so I would like to see that history repeat itself. I would like to. And it'd be sick if they get the three-peat, Travis Kelce takes his jersey off, lays it down, he walks on the sunset. I just love stories like that. That being said, I got Bills in this game. I want the Bills to win. And
find out on the locker room.
JP, look back at the locker room. I mean, play the clip right now of my take on Bills Chiefs in the regular season. Josh Allen, regular season, 3-1 against Patrick Mahomes. Everything is telling us right now that the Bills are going to win this game, and then the Chiefs are going to win it when they see each other in January. I will say this now, and hold me to this quote. Jared, you can clip it for later in the season. When these two teams meet in January, whether it's in Kansas City or Buffalo, obviously if Kansas City wins this game, it'll most likely be in Kansas City. The Buffalo Bills will beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you for playing that clip. I mean, let's hope it doesn't come true, but if it does, let's hope for a three-peat.
You did also say if the Commanders did make it, you're like, maybe it's better if the Commanders don't win the Super Bowl this year.
Huh?
Remember when in Chicago you were saying maybe it's better for the Commanders if they don't win the Super Bowl this year?
No, that was the Raiders.
I think you were saying Commanders as well.
When did you guys have the CTE brain, but like we were talking about the Ravens last week on the locker room, and I was talking about how if you're the Ravens, do you want to really win the Super Bowl right now? Because you have to wait another 12 years based on history.
That one, yeah.
But I don't remember the Commanders one. Play the clip.
You said it.
Yeah, I said it. You said it, Taylor. All right, my bad. My fault.
I know it's gonna be an awesome weekend.
It's gonna be awesome.
You got Washington, Eagles in division rivalry. You got Chiefs, Bills. The rematch that everyone loves to see.
Perfect.
It really is perfect.
It would have been great to see the Ravens, man.
I before the games yesterday, I was kind of pumped to potentially see a Bills Commanders Super Bowl. Battle of the Beltway, Washington, Baltimore. Maybe not.
Ravens versus Commanders.
I'm saying before the game
What's the
yesterday.
Battle of the Beltway? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Battle for the Beltway.
I got confused
It's
because you said Bills first.
before that Bills game, I was kind of
Yeah.
I thought it'd be cool to see like a Commanders Ravens Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because when they play in the preseason, they call it Battle for the. But the Baltimore Orioles and Washington Nationals, their games every time they play, it's like Battle for the Beltway because everybody's so close. Like Baltimore's within a 2-hour drive of like Ashburn, of where we are with the Commanders.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. I don't
Just
hate that,
like that little
don't hate that take. I just didn't know
like
what the
that
Beltway
Northeast
thing was.
rivalry. I feel like the Northeast would have just absolutely loved that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to see. I guess y'all have to tune into the locker room, but it's Bills Commanders.
But we'll have some nice information for why it should be Bills Commanders.
Yeah.
I would love to read this ad read. However, script should be verbatim. Do not go off script. Will?
Let's get the blood flowing below the belt. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, erectile dysfunction. 1 in 4 men 18 years and older experience ED, which means that you or someone close to you might be experiencing it. That's why I want to tell you about this new ED treatment gel, Eroxon. It's the first of its kind ED treatment gel with clinically proven results that can get you that you can get over the counter. Eroxon is a topical treatment gel, which means that it doesn't matter. Oh gosh. Eroxon is a topical treatment gel, which means that it doesn't enter your bloodstream, making it safe for both you and your partner. And to maximize intimacy, you can use it with your partner during foreplay leading up to sex, and it's clinically proven to work within 10 minutes. It's important to try on a few separate occasions to get the hang of how to use it. While it may work for everyone, studies showed success in 60% of men. If you desire deeper connections and better outcomes, Eroxon is the answer. See if it's right for you. Eroxon is available in stores and online. Visit eroxon.us to learn more.
Beautifully read.
All right.
Fun games on the horizon.
Yeah. Still bummed for the Ravens. Still bummed for Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I feel terrible.
Wanted
for
Derrick
Mark
Henry
Andrews.
to go get himself one. Wanted Lamar to get the monkey off his back. Wanted those things to happen for the Ravens, but also excited for the Bills to get this monkey off their back, beating the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Do you think after that Bills-Ravens game, Josh Allen now wins the MVP over Lamar Jackson?
That's a great question.
All the votes are already in.
Are they, though?
Were they before the game?
Were the votes in 2020, Mitch? You were saying the other day.
That's what they said. Like this game doesn't bear any meaning towards the MVP because all the votes were already in at the end of the regular season.
Right. Hey, right.
I mean, I agree with you.
It's a tight race. I mean, both those players are unreal.
Also, Joe Burrow just getting left in the dust too. His stats, nuts.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate his team couldn't elevate to his level.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they did, we're looking at them in the AFC Championship right now.
Yeah. We're recording this on Monday morning, so we haven't been able to watch the Notre Dame-Ohio State game. I have no clue how that one's going to unfold. I assume it's going to be Ohio State. We're going to be
I assume it's going to be Notre
Ohio
Dame.
State Buckeyes.
I assume it'll be Notre Dame, right?
Right? Could it be the Irish?
I mean, Ohio State is elite. They are crushing. This is a Big Ten championship. This is a Big Ten national championship.
Yeah.
Is what this is.
Not really. But speaking of the Irish, how about Shane's commercial?
Elite.
Shane Gillis,
Elite.
Tommy Pope from the rafters
Tommy
up top.
Pope.
From
Did you
the
go to Notre
Raptors.
Dame? Yeah. I didn't go to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't go to Notre Dame.
This is
So
another
good.
awesome commercial.
Awesome. Dude. Well done by
Commercial
Shane.
I
goat?
think, too, with those commercials, they let Shane's team kind of write it and direct it and produce it all, too.
That's awesome. That is
Putting his boys on.
him talking about betting. I won't bet
Thou
for
shalt
3
not,
months.
Yeah.
Next month.
hath not bet.
I'll half bet this weekend.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It's great to see. It's a perfect storm for Shane. He's just on the top of the world right now, and for Notre Dame to be in the national championship. What a win.
I know.
What a win for him.
You
And I
think
just
if-
hope they get it done.
You think
I
if
do.
Notre Dame loses, he tweets his own video of him putting the gun in his mouth?
That is the move.
Yeah, I'll DM him.
That is the
Yeah, shoot him
move.
the DM.
But yeah,
I'm sad college football is coming to an end.
yeah, it is tough.
You feel everything pick up because it's NFL playoff season. You know, colleges kind of went to the wayside, but I'm sad that college football is ending.
I know. I did like it. Go ahead.
Predictions for next year for Nebraska and Michigan.
In the national title game?
Well, no, just y'all's predictions. How y'all are feeling
sick
for
would
next
that
year?
Bro, Nebraska, Michigan got the national title next year.
That would be.
I mean,
so
obviously, we
awesome.
both think our teams are going to win.
Yeah. I mean, what are you trying to do?
We don't want to be mean right now
It's January. We've got 8 more months
until
before
the
they
Bussin'
play.
Bowl.
Literally, I think it's September 20th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 8 months
A
exactly.
day after my birthday.
Oh wow!
So that's birthday weekend.
What a birthday
That is going to
gift.
be the worst birthday present
That's
for you.
birthday weekend.
That is going to suck.
And where is
That's
it?
Let's not be
at
nasty.
Nebraska.
Oh Lord!
God, dude, how sad is Will going to be if they lose, though? How sad if, like,
I don't think I'm going to be sad because we're winning.
but how sad is Will going to be if the same thing that's happened all of the times
Whoa.
happens again? I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying, of
You
all
didn't
the
beat
things
our
that have
ass all
happened,
the times.
we've won all of the times.
Yeah, you guys have
Okay.
won.
I'm just saying. They
They should have called that a dead ball when Adrian Martinez was stood up at the line when we were going on that game.
There's always 4 players on Nebraska Cornhuskers named Adrian Martinez. Yeah, I want Michigan to win, but I'm gonna be so sad for Will when they do.
I'm just pumped that the Bussin' Bowl's back
I know.
in September too. Both undefeated teams.
Let's hope. Who y'all play week 1?
Cincinnati at Arrowhead. The New Heights Bussin' Bowl.
Who's Michigan play week 1? Let's pop that up real quick. Is it too early to do a schedule?
Let's pop up the schedules and start running them.
Is it too early? I mean, hey, one good note about Jayden Daniels being a rookie coming in, having the success he had. Bryce Underwood. Something to think about, right? Could be a rookie in college having the same success. It's a little early. Okay, yeah. Wait.
You got Oklahoma in Norman week 2.
Oklahoma in Norman.
Ruh-roh.
That's all right.
The New Mexico Lobos.
Yeah, we'll handle the Lobos.
Central Michigan.
We'll handle the Wolves.
Ryan Urlacher.
Yeah.
We'll handle.
Central Michigan. What is that? The Chippewas?
Got a little bye week. Early bye.
Chippewas?
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Even when I was at Michigan, we played Central Michigan and won. I think we're going to be all right.
No, they're bad.
Okay, Mitch.
And then the Huskers.
Jesus.
Huskers.
September 20th. 8 months from today.
420.
Right?
I mean, yeah, more or less.
Who said
It's January 20th right now.
February has 28 days. Like it'll be like 8. Like it's not gonna be exact.
It'll literally be 8 months. What do we talk?
You understand how there's different months. Each month has different days in each month.
And you understand that every month that goes by is a new month. So if it's January, the next month is February, then it's March, then April, then May, then June, then July, August, and then finally September. You take all those months together, we're exactly 8 months away.
Can you look that up?
I mean, I'm not saying days.
Yeah,
if I was
pull it
like,
up,
there's
JD.
100 and whatever many
Yeah,
days.
correct.
What are we arguing?
I don't know.
You guys are just arguing about math.
He goes,
Yeah.
you understand that February has 28 days.
Oh no!
This much.
That's the September 1st.
September 1st. It's literally 8 months away. Even if this thing's going to be wrong, if it says anything different. Is my logic fucked up?
No, I think I just looking for
Great
something.
podcast argument.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If I said there's 200 and however, like 225 days.
243.
I know. I said if I were to say that.
243.
Yeah, exactly. But if there's 8 months, we're 8 months away.
Maybe.
Yeah.
7.98 months.
Oof.
Tough look for
This
Taylor.
one's got
Dude,
to
I'm
hurt.
staying
because
on
she
that.
got
What an
GBR,
What
baby.
a crazy thing.
GBR.
7.98903 months away.
Hate to see it.
God. God.
So,
Yeah, dude. Notre Dame.
For me
Notre
and
Dame
Taylor?
could shock the world tonight. We're talking about
you
bets.
hear JP stirring up the pot?
What is that?
Bald bet for Michigan, Nebraska.
Yeah, we got to do something bigger than that.
Just throw it in there.
Deeds to our homes.
Loser has another kid.
Firstborns. Yeah, we'll have to put a little bet together for that. Like
Yeah,
like if we're gonna do shaved heads, it'll be like on the field. On the field. I don't know about ball. Hold on now. I got some dents in this head. Yeah, bigger. Who's with you and hair, man?
Go from shaved head to bald. No.
Say with you and hair.
Asstats.
Yeah, you're always the one telling other people to do shit.
Asstats.
Oh, I don't know. I've never touched this body with ink. My body's my temple.
But nobody sees an asstat.
Asstat, block N or block M.
Or each other's face.
That would be funny.
Say it again.
Hey, that would be so funny.
First one.
And I'd have a nice little canvas back there too.
I do got a canvas.
You got a canvas. Yours would be a little fucked up if you guys won, but if Michigan wins,
Other than the Bussin' Bowl.
ass tats. Hold on.
No, I'm
something
not
here.
agreeing to nothing in the moment.
Ass
Not
tats.
agreeing to nothing in the moment.
Come on.
Agreeing to nothing in the moment.
You shaved your mustache.
Come on, ass tats, dude. It is back.
What do you got, G?
Other than the Bussin' Bowl, what possible stops should we make on the fall tour?
I'm just gonna throw this out there.
What other Nebraska game, Will?
I might.
They play in Ireland.
There's a
week one.
possibility of me being committed to 3 Nebraska games in September.
Dog, you are out of hand.
There's something in the works that has nothing to do with me that I would have to be at a game. Cincinnati. That's a potential to collab with New Heights. You can stay home if you want to.
No, I'm a come.
Or you can go to Michigan.
come.
You go to New Mexico Lobos.
Different fall tour stops. Love the idea of the Red River rivalry. Love that. You pops it up on the screen there. That's fantastic.
We would have a ton of fun at the state fair.
I think we need to be more fluid about where we go based on matchups as the season progresses next year.
Yeah.
Like, I love this because it is a big rivalry. It's in the middle of the season. That's awesome. Also, that's in October, isn't it?
That is in October. It's usually the third Saturday.
Second or third.
We
But
got
it
plans,
is in
Brett.
October. And we need to get our...
We got to get an organ. Like, we got to...
We'll have it
gotta
figured
look.
out. We'll
We gotta
figure it
look.
out then.
We're
We're
gonna dial in
spam the
spring
comments.
tour.
Fun fall.
Spam
Fun
the
fall.
comments.
October.
We got a Dallas Spring Tour.
Is that,
October 11th is the Red River rivalry.
is that the date for y'all though? Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Hey, that's pretty
What is
nice.
it? South Carolina, Alabama? Where's it at?
Columbia.
I'll go to that.
That would be sick.
That'd be sick. But yeah, let's keep things. Let's try to keep it fluid
Yeah.
in the fall. Cincinnati, Nebraska.
Whatever sponsors are out there looking at the boys.
Nebraska, Michigan. Nebraska versus somebody else. Nebraska versus UCLA.
That's
If we can get around a week or two of Nebraska boys, it'd be great.
Hey, and any sponsors, potential sponsors listening, just know we got to be fluid with the boys.
Yeah, be fluid.
Be fluid with the boys.
Yeah,
be fluid with the boys.
Because you're gonna get the best content that way.
Yeah,
Biggest games, best content. Be fluid with the boys.
One year we should just do a full fall tour, only Nebraska games.
I like the way he's cooking. I like the way he's cooking.
And I'm thinking next year when Tennessee and Nebraska play.
I like what you're cooking up right now.
Do they play in 2025?
2026.
They play next year. Next,
Got
like,
you.
next
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
Not in this.
I don't want to get into
season,
calendar
fall.
stuff with you again. I got it.
Hey,
I've got it.
Could buy like a warehouse in Lincoln, have a remote office there, and just every single week.
Wait, why did you use the mic?
Every
ahead,
single
Sharon.
week, guaranteed. We have an office there. We buy a warehouse in Lincoln. We can go to every single Nebraska game. It'd be huge. Will, like, it could just be like all Will stuff on the walls, his highlights playing. And then we could do
it's
the
on a
same
loop.
in Ann Arbor as well for Taylor, but Nebraska would be really sick.
Okay. Let's. We're having fun, boys. We're having a good time with this, huh?
No bad ideas.
That'd be great. No bad ideas in a brainstorm. No bad ideas in a brainstorm. I mean, I'll be at 5 Nebraska games next year. I know that. And then we'll go from there. Fuck.
Look,
This show just turns into a regional podcast for Nebraska. sorry, Barstool. The reason why we're going independent is actually because Nebraska needs us. The Huskers need us.
our new presenting sponsor, the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a sick one.
That
though.
would be cool.
They probably got the bag.
You want to do tier talk?
Let's do tier talk.
What we got? Snow day activities?
Ooh.
All right, tier talk.
Snow day activities.
Snow day activities. Activities.
God, that was a good.
I can rip. Tier 3, stay inside. Tier 2, sledding. No. Sledding's tier 1. Tier 2, build a snowman. Tier 1, sledding.
Okay. I'm going to give an honorable mention to staying inside by the fire. I think a fire is key when the snow is on the ground. Tier 3 is going to go to building a snowman. I think it's fun. Takes a little bit of time. Tier 2.
Yeah, but when you, tier 2 talk.
Tier 2 is going to go to the snowball fight, especially with your kids. My kids are learning. They're getting their elbows up. They're understanding how to throw. But being able to show everybody what's what, who's who. Like you're dealing with your old man here.
Yeah.
And $1 million arm with a 5-cent head. And I don't know where it's going, but if it hits you, you're going to be in trouble. And my tier 1 is going to go to the sledding. That is my tier talk.
I think too, building a snowman brings just a different vibe when you have kids too.
Yeah.
The
oh wait, we didn't go around and do one word to describe.
True.
We fucked up tier talk.
Start over.
We leave Barstool one
Lucy
day.
is the true. Go ahead. One word.
Great. Awesome.
For Will's mid, for Taylor's true.
For mine, what?
True.
I heard you the first time. I was excited to hear it again.
Will's warm, Taylor cold.
Okay.
Inside.
Retweet Mitch.
Solid. For both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both the same. So, I mean,
Snowball fight. Snowball fight. It was different.
Warm.
war.
Oh, Mitch, you got a list?
Yeah. Let's go, Mitch.
All right, Mitch. Step up to the plate, ball.
All right. This is mine's gonna be different than yours, clearly. My honorable mention, and I don't know if this is just something that I did growing up, but let me hold it.
No.
Okay. If you get a Gatorade and you just pour it in the snow and you just start licking it, it's like a free ice cone. That's my honorable mention.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Yeah,
it's
we'll
my
unpack
turn.
that.
My
But
turn.
make sure to put a pin in that, Garrett. Make sure we get back to that one.
My tier 3 is gonna go sledding. My tier 2, snowball fight, because you're just gonna be whipping them at whomever. And my tier 1, I don't know how this didn't make it on either of your lists. Snow football, just being all bundled up in all your warm clothes and just being able to annihilate your boys, and just it's not gonna hurt because it's in the snow and you're in all your clothes. So that is my tier talk.
I'll tell you why I didn't make my list. I'm not a teenager anymore.
One word.
Hey, one word.
Sorry.
Hyphenated?
Teenager.
Painful.
Goated.
I don't know yet.
Authentic.
Tasty.
I can't. That's one word. What's the treat?
Serendipitous.
Serendipitous. That's it.
Let's unpack that Gatorade thing for a minute. So you take the Gatorade, you pour it out, and then you lick the snow.
Correct.
Okay, why not take half of a Gatorade, put snow in the Gatorade, and then drink the Gatorade?
Because the snow melts in the Gatorade.
Ooh.
That's a really good point. That's a
But
really
it
good
doesn't
point.
melt on the ground?
No, it does. So like when you pour it in the snow,
Hand him the L.
when you pour it in the snow, like it's not all gonna go right to the ground. It's just gonna be like a little perfect little snow cone, and then you just get down on the ground and lick it.
Okay.
Next time it snows, I guarantee you.
I'll make a video. Next time it snows, I'll make a video and do that exact thing.
Like it is like the best thing to do when you're a kid.
I guess the biggest
Purple.
Purple. Yeah, it's got to be purple.
Purple.
Just grab a cup, scoop up the snow, pour Gatorade in.
No doubt, but that's just like there's something
Hey, G,
about
when he was talking about the Gatorade, I was thinking to myself, it's got to be purple.
there's something about like just literally getting a Gatorade, falling in the snow and just laying there and just pouring it in different spots and just like licking it and eating it.
Authentic is the word, bro.
Holy shit.
The Mitch
dude.
cone.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
The
you
Mitch
got it.
cone.
If we get more snow,
If
in
we get
Nashville-
more snow, we all have to make a
Oh,
video.
100%.
Getting the Mitch cone.
Now we all got to lay down in a line.
Lick each other's cones.
Yes.
Okay.
Mitch cone going viral.
Listen, I'm telling you.
I have a list. And Jack actually helped me with this list. Number 3, sledding. Number 2, snow fort. Number 1, playing airsoft or paintball in said snow forts.
Paintball in the snow is
It's goated. It's goated. That's
It
my
is
tier
that,
top.
and that seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Exciting.
Painful.
authentic.
Adrenaline.
War.
Snow fort. Never had the opportunity to build one of those. Is it hard? You gotta get in it.
Yeah.
My first real experience with snow
Igloo.
was at 18 years old.
Yeah.
So I didn't, you know.
The best thing about snow forts too, if you get like a lot of snow, you do it down by the road. You do it down by the road, and like when the snow gets plowed off the road, it's just like a big barrier on the side, and then you get that extra snow. You get under there, and it's next level.
Okay. God, I have
Hey,
a lot to learn
honorable
about snow.
mention: throwing snowballs at cars.
No.
No, I don't hate that.
Yeah,
I
got in
don't hate
trouble
at
doing
all.
that, but God, it was fun. Adrenaline rush.
Or like a stop sign.
Yeah.
Mailboxes.
Throwing competitions. See that? Pick up a rock. Do the same thing with the snow.
No one did Snow Angels.
Yeah, I don't.
Snow Angel.
Brew had a great Snow Angel.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, move your arms, and she's just like moving her arms.
Pouring twisted tea on snow.
Well, I'll be asking
Yeah.
this a question.
While being asked a twisted question?
Whoa. Do we want to do a twisted question?
Let's do a quick twisted question. This twisted question is brought to us by Twisted Tea, real brewed tea, 5% alcohol, perfect for game day, tailgating, whatever your dream is. Twisted Tea is there to give you full of flavor. It's also very refreshing. It goes down smooth and there is no carbonation, which makes it easy to drink all day long. It feels fun and celebrates extreme fandom. It is the perfect alcohol beverage for game day, tailgating in the parking lot, watching at a bar, watching with friends at home. It's there to turn up your game day. Keep it twisted with the boys and grab a refreshing Twisted Tea today. Go ahead, give us the twisted question.
Twisted question this week. You are going to dinner. You get to pick your 4 guests, who you want to bring, and where exactly they are sitting at the table.
Ooh,
Great
4 people,
twisted question.
alive or dead, correct?
Alive or dead.
Alive or dead.
And you,
Question about this twisted question.
you have to orient them where you want them.
Question. It's hard because it's like if you could ever go to lunch with somebody, there's a lot of people I would go to lunch with, but do they have to be like super honest with you? They have to actually talk because some people could be a little more introverted.
No, yeah, you're gonna like.
it's your pick.
Yeah, you're
All
going
right,
dinner with the boys.
okay. Go ahead.
Ryan Whitney, Paul Bissonnette, Roan, Taylor Lewan.
No PFT.
Come on, dog. Oh, fuck. Fucked it up. It's also my fault.
Just the dinner that we did that Dave was pissed about.
Yeah, which was such an elite dinner.
And you gotta cancel off Francis because he kind of.
Who's sitting where?
Yeah, you got to say who's sitting where.
Yeah.
Are we at the head of the table? I'll be at the head of the table. You got Whit, you got Taylor, you got Biz, you got Roan.
Small table too, so everyone's kind of in each other's conversations. That's elite. Would you go any other way?
I mean, I think about it, but just off the top,
Yeah.
thinking, not trying to think too much into it. Think of a great dinner. Yeah, think of a great dinner we just had. Recreate that.
I'd like to get my people in like different time frames of life. Like Frank Sinatra would be one for me. It'd be interesting to learn about the Rat Pack, what it was like back then, all of those things. But then I would kind of like now I would stay away from that time zone, that time frame. One individual, this is going to be a weird one. Charles Manson. I know. Your silence is crazy. That dude is a psychopath. There's no doubt about it. There's something interesting to me, at least, about serial killers that I'm just like, what goes through your brain? The Ted Bundys, the storylines. But a guy like Charles Manson who gets a cult, establishes a cult, and then does all the horrible things he does, I like to hear a couple stories from him. I think he'd be very entertaining at this dinner party. You'd be drinking the Kool-Aid at the end of the dinner. Maybe, yeah, and that's very much my personality. I'd probably end up buying into that. Those are 2 I have in my head. I'll come back. If anybody has any other ones, let me know. Those are my 2. Not Michael Jackson.
I'm gonna go with LeVar Ball, LaMelo Ball, LiAngelo Ball, and Lonzo Ball.
Let's go.
Yeah, LiAngelo.
Where are they sitting?
I'm gonna have to have LeVar furthest away from me because I know I'll be able to hear him regardless. Across from him will be LiAngelo because I feel like they need to spend more time together. Lonzo to my left, LaMelo to my right. Yeah, and then I can only hope that LeVar gives me like the opportunity he's given his boys.
Someone who might make the list, Timothy Chalamet. Once again, Charlemagne, whatever. Once again, there's a video of him this weekend coming out of a car in France. People speaking French to him. And what does he do? Speaks French back. What can he do?
He said,
what can't the kid do? What can he do?
It's Charlemagne. Timothy Chalamet.
Got it. Charlemagne. That's my 3rd.
I love that.
Need one more.
I know. Come back. Go ahead, Mitch. Who you got?
Me?
Dude, yeah, maybe Travis Barker. That'd be sick, but I feel like he's quiet. More introverted.
More room for you and Charles.
Yeah, Charles would be a crazy. You can't tell me that would be like one of the most entertaining dinners
Think
ever.
about a dinner with Dave Chappelle, Adam Sandler, Jesus,
Fergie.
Denzel Washington.
What?
That-
The Jesus out of nowhere.
Jesus out of nowhere.
Be worried about cursing the whole time.
Just
He
be
probably
like,
had PTSD from that one guy stabbing him in the back from that
Yeah.
one dinner he had a long time ago.
Yeah.
They have a whole bunch of issues.
just say, what would you guys like to drink? And you're like, I'll take water. And then look over at Jesus.
What you gonna do with that?
Yeah, you gonna.
You help this bill out? Yeah. I don't know who my fourth is.
Ryan Reynolds, like
Oh yeah, he'd be fun.
No, fuck Ryan Reynolds, dude.
Tom DeLonge,
Maybe. Dude.
Mark Hoppus.
Alien Talk, yeah.
Elon.
Elon would be so, yeah.
He'll just be on his phone the whole time.
Sure, y'all won't be able to understand him.
Probably not, but
You
like that's
think-
not for
you think
me.
we're so
Like, I'm not gonna
boring.
understand Charles Manson either, but it'll be interesting. And your hope is with Elon Musk at a dinner is you're like, maybe I can say one thing to spark his interest towards me, so he starts telling me things. But then it becomes like a please look at me type dinner, and you don't want that. Fuck, dude.
Just go for good vibes. Who's a
Vince
good-
Vaughn.
There you go.
Thank you. That was what a weird group.
I was sitting next to you.
Was that you?
Yeah.
I could go to dinner with you whenever though. I
Yeah,
love
that's-
it. It's great
that's
every
true.
single time. I don't think I've had
Y'all two went to dinner.
The one last week.
No, y'all two.
we go to breakfast more than we go to dinner.
Yeah.
Sit on the same side of the table.
Try. Will always says no. I always try to sit in the same side. I was like, what are you doing, man? I was like, come on, bro. We're together. It's like, man, get out of here, dude. I'm trying to look at Nebraska highlights.
I don't know what my list would be, but I do like the idea that you're going for and having someone in who was the first person you said? Frank Sinatra's era, and then, you know, a little bit further up, maybe a safer play than Charles Manson, but kind of
Probably, yeah,
learning
Maybe a safer play.
learning along like the steps, but then someone current that could help, you know, kind of spread wisdom to them about the current day.
Yeah.
I feel like at my dinner, I
Jordan
would probably do
Peterson?
the least amount of talking. I would just
That's
want to.
yeah, that's what you're
I
kind of
just want to
hoping for.
listen. I just want to listen.
Hey, throwing Jordan Peterson.
Solid pick.
I don't know.
I mean,
That'd be
like
fun.
even dude, JFK would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But did you see it coming? Do you know what was happening? Those papers are gonna be nuts.
Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I would have an athlete unless it was like, I don't know, Babe Ruth.
I feel like Michael Jordan would be solid.
Djokovic would be on mine.
Dick Butkus, Ray Lewis, Luke Kuechly, Patrick Willis.
And you.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. A lot of different ways you can go with that twisted question.
Good twisted question.
Yeah.
Good twisted question, Mitch.
Leave your
Having a good
4
start to his year.
in the comments.
Yeah. Pet peeves?
Pet peeves.
Pet peeves?
We need
We sure, dog. We can cut through this.
We need shout-outs?
I don't think we have shots this week.
We could do it.
Yeah.
As you prepare to host game day celebrations, what are some possible whole body related issues, body odor issues that you may encounter that make you less confident in your hosting duties? Are you afraid to take off your shoes when you enter a friend's house? Getting nervous your team is down at halftime? Tackle whole body odor with Dove Men Plus Care Whole Body DO. This whole body DO defends against all your odor zones, from pits to private parts to feet, and it's long lasting with 72-hour odor protection. Find Dove Men Whole Body DO at Walmart today. Our pet peeves. We getting a lot of complaining off our
Yeah.
chest. Does anybody want to start?
Thank God the Matthews brothers aren't here to tear you down this week.
No, good God.
What you could do is you could just do a little app on your phone.
I did find a pet peeve of mine.
Go ahead.
Rue and I went to Target, and when
I
you
love kid pet peeves.
it's not a kid pet peeve, but when you
Yeah, for
grab a grocery cart and the one wheel's kind of off, so you're kind of forcing it to the left the whole time or to the right the whole time. When it's just starting to curve and you're just having to direct it the entire time. That's a pet peeve of mine. Bad grocery carts. Bad grocery carts.
That's a good pet peeve. I'm gonna go kid pet peeve.
Okay.
Big fan of it. Thank you for being a safe space for me, world. Harry Potter is obviously massive in my house right now. We're reading the book. We're halfway through Prisoners of Azkaban right now. Wynn likes to do this fun thing where while I'm reading or while her mother is reading, she will ask future questions of what's going on. Like, Sirius Black, where is Sirius Black? Like in the middle, he'll be mentioned, be like, oh, where is he right now? I'll be like, you will find out. I promise. Harry gets into it with Malfoy. He gets his arm slashed by Hagrid's animal, that whatever. He's like, "Why is Harry going to get fired?" It's like, honey, we will continue to read this book, and I swear to you, you will find the answers to all of your questions. But you just got to wait and be patient for a little bit. That is mine. That's my pet peeve.
Go ahead.
No, you got it.
I was gonna say Rue on a younger level. Like this is an example. Say we'll be watching Frozen and Olaf is on the screen and she's fascinated with Olaf. But once Olaf goes off the screen, she wants Olaf to come back on. What happened to Olaf? And it's like, he's going to come back in the picture. You just got to be patient.
Swear to God.
He's going to come back. I promise. Or when we're watching Jurassic Park, she wanted Bumpy, the Stegosaurus. When Bumpy's not on the screen, she's like, what happened to Bumpy? Sweetheart, he's going to come back. We've even watched this episode. So you know he's going to come back into the picture. I'm with you.
Yeah. Going back to that, one pet peeve of mine is no more commercials. It kind of pisses me off that kids don't have to go through the trials and tribulations of sitting through a minute and 30 seconds of commercials. Because there's a couple times where I'll put YouTube TV on, there's a show on or whatever, and commercials will come on. And my kids will be like, Dad, put the show back on. I'm like, you don't fucking get it. You're going to sit here and you're going to watch this.
YouTube TV is telling us to sit with this Zen scene right now. Like, let's have a little bit of Zen before we get back into the action.
It's okay to pace yourself in the journey of cinema. That's okay to do. But I did flip the script to my kids, though. So we've been putting, obviously, football games on. And when the commercials come on, they're like, why are these commercials on? I have to explain to them. But I'll tell them the point of commercials is to sell things. So every commercial when they come on, it's my kid's job to tell me what they're trying to sell. And that's a fun game. That's a fun game.
Unfortunately, that pet peeve, I feel like, stays with some people, or what Wynn does, asking all these questions, what happens next, that stays with people into their adult years. Because I hate when I've seen a movie and I'm watching a movie with somebody and they haven't seen it and they're like, wait, so who is this person? I'm like, you're about to find out. That's why we're watching the movie.
Right.
And I hate when they ask questions about it.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to watch the movie or you just want me to tell you what happens?
Yeah.
So, but that's not my pet peeve.
Contrary to that pet peeve is I do like when I'm watching a movie for the first time. Let's say a movie that, like, this is the third, fourth movie it just came out and I go to see it with somebody and I haven't necessarily seen those 3, 4 movies. That person I'm with giving me a little bit of context of
100%.
Why things are interesting during that movie. Planet of the Apes is a good example of that.
Context is fine. Answers are not.
Yes. Questions, the whole thing.
But you were doing a good job of not really asking questions. I'll just lean over to you and give you context.
I know, but I did like that. I did like that.
Like, hey, you see that medallion right there?
Right. Yeah, you see it in the house? Yeah, that's actually the same. I'm thinking to myself, yo, that's a good tidbit. I needed that.
What's your pet peeve, JP?
My pet peeve
He's got a lot of them.
Yeah, I do have a lot of them. There's, this isn't, sure, I know Sherm has glasses on. This is not about Sherm. He keeps his clean. But I hate when people that wear glasses come up and I'm talking to them and I can see how dirty their glasses are. Because all I'm thinking about is there is no way that you're looking at me through those glasses and it's all good. Because I see about 8 fingerprints, some grease, a crumb. I'm like, I just want to. It just bugs me. I'm like, please clean your glasses.
That bugs JP.
Dude. It's funny that JP is on. Me and JP are both on you quite a bit for how grumpy you are, but JP is well on his way.
Yeah.
On his way. The seatbelt thing, is that me? To JP. I just like, bro, but yeah. People would agree with that. No doubt. I understand that, but like, you do a good job of making it known. You do a really good job with that. Onward.
Jack, you have a pet peeve?
No, I have a shout out though. I don't
give
know
a shout out. All right, give a shout out.
I'm feeling positive, and my shout out goes to Canadians.
Okay.
Oh, and I know you'd like this. Over the weekend, some of our friends, one of my buddies, Sam, met these 3 girls from Canada in October, just randomly, and then they came back, and we hung out with them all weekend, and they're just the kindest human beings ever, and we just had so much fun. And even though I'm in Nashville doing what I'd normally be doing, just hanging out, it felt like I was on a vacation almost, like visiting another place. And just like meeting people with new experiences. And the way they met, it was at a random bar, just some little conversation. Both of them should have never been there. And we were thinking, like, what if they had never gone to the bar? What if he'd never gone? And now I have new friends for life. So shout out making new friends, shout out Canadians, and shout out Emma, Alana, and Tiffany. So positivity.
Okay, Jack, you dirty little dog, you little rascal, you boy.
Hey, They would make a fantastic 51st state. Canada really would. 2025.
How do y'all feel they were buying you?
Yeah.
Oh, and your boy Trudeau, gone. Resigned.
He said your boy Trudeau.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, bud.
2 weeks ago, he said, I'm out.
Anybody got a pet peeve back there?
Yeah, I got one.
No.
My pet peeve.
I love how Sherm won't let you hold the mic.
My pet peeve goes to, I don't know how to, like, nice cars. When they're like your BMWs, your Mercedes, your like all of those kind of cars, they feel like they own the road. They feel like because I'm driving a nice car, you need to drive around me. I'm gonna squeeze in here, and like the rules don't apply to them just because they have a nice car, and they feel like they can get away with just driving like an asshole. And it pisses me off to no end. I'm like, oh, of course it's a fucking Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
Of course it's a fucking BMW.
Yeah.
I mean.
Same.
Taylor doesn't. I've never been on the road with
The
Taylor.
rules do
been in the
not
car.
apply to me in my head when
Yeah.
I'm driving. It's
But,
okay.
like I'm from.
But I
like
don't drive any. I don't drive any of those cars.
Nashville's the worst city in the world when it comes to driving. Like being from the Northeast, I've driven in Jersey, New York, like all of those places. Nothing compares to the incompetence of drivers in Nashville, Tennessee. It is
Wow.
absurd. It is
Especially when
absurd.
the weather's cold.
It's-
People
no,
just all of a sudden want to not go over 15 miles an hour.
nobody knows how to drive down here, and like they just don't. They don't use signals. They're just trying to like. Just driving fucking all over the place. It is absolutely insane, and it
Sons of
drives me
bitches.
up a wall.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. Good pet peeve.
Quick little rebuttal. We all drove perfectly fine until you assholes moved here.
Oh, eat him up, G. Eat him up. Eat him up.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Rebuttal?
Double rebuttal?
Yeah, I got a double rebuttal.
Okay.
Double rebuttal. Nothing to write home
You
about.
got it, Mitch.
Nothing to write home about.
Every car that is driving terribly has the fucking Tennessee's license plate.
What did you just say? Rebuttal.
Oh, triple rebuttal.
What did you just do on Friday?
I got a Tennessee license.
Say it to the mic.
Quadruple rebuttal.
I did just get a Tennessee license plate.
Oh, Titans. Titans fan.
But that's because you have to, or else you get fucking fined for some bullshit.
Yeah, for being
Wow.
I'd rather stay with my Pennsylvania.
Wow. I don't know what this is, but I'll do it too.
It means he stank. Oh, good podcast beef. Podcast beef.
Damn. Good bows being thrown back and forth.
I saw JP go, oh, we should get him.
You just, I mean, as soon as you said it, you probably were like, fuck.
Well, yeah.
That was a classic Mitch moment. I just pictured that.
Yeah, my pet peeve is when Northerners come down to the South and try and tell us what to do. Pisses me off.
Snowbirds.
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 Not really though. I love Mitch. I love you.
I mean, I've been in the South for 5 years now.
What does that mean? Oh.
Honorary. I've been in Charlotte, been out here. I've seen it.
I've seen it.
Earned his stripes. How long does it take living?
7 years. 7 years to earn your stripes.
Let's fuck. I'm in. How many years you been here?
You never been to Waffle House and you think you're from the
2018?
South?
6.
7, yeah.
You're going on 7, yeah. It'll be like 7. in
Notre
April.
Dame money line.
Jack. He'll be 7 years in April, so he's still not him.
I give it to Will though because of what he did for the Tennessee Titans.
Thank you, Jack.
You're in, dude.
Play against the Lions, I'll never forget.
Let's
Ever,
fucking
ever.
go.
Forget it.
You were in on that play right then and there.
Is Missouri not considered?
I think it's the Midwest. Oh, we've had this conversation.
Okay.
People from Bonne Terre, like it'll be like split up. Yeah, some people want to claim they're Southern.
We gotta revisit that one.
Yeah. Will's map was gold.
Someone resurfaced a map the other day I thought was pretty funny. It had a little more stuff going on.
Theo's map.
I don't know. I think it might have been Jack Mac.
He said stuff going on.
Yeah, more themes. More themes. Before we get off the show, or do we,
We
want
got
to
some new ink on the bus.
Show the new
Oh, you
ink.
see my butterfly?
The video was crazy.
Yeah, this little butterfly.
You shaved?
Yeah, I had Joey shaved me. Joey shaved me. That's my
What
butterfly.
Yeah, we are very close to that, Taylor. So, nope.
I haven't shaved in a minute too, so it's just like we're like 1 little centimeter away from it being a problem.
What's the deal with the butterfly?
Dude, they're endangered. We gotta look out for butterflies. What are you talking about? Especially the monarch butterfly. Are you kidding me?
Oh, so that's why
Stop
you got
polluting our environment. How about that?
That's why you got the tat.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
You don't care about our environment or animals?
No, I mean I care, but to an extent.
Man. I'm trying to live in a world where my kids live in a better world than I lived in. You don't care about your kids, man.
I think my kids
Save the butterflies,
both my
dude.
kids live in a better world than I was living in.
Save the butterflies, dude. No, I got the butterfly because that was really the only thing that could fit in there. I had such an awkward little spot. And Taylor's like, get a butterfly. I'm like, all right. So I got a butterfly. That's it.
Jack, how about you? What kind of ink you got?
So new cowboy. I don't even want to show it. It's I need my AQ4 on it. So I'm filling in my arm right now, and it's a work in progress, and no real.
It's all right, Jack. Come on.
No meaning
Tell them how
behind it.
great it is, dude.
Yeah, let's see
Right
the
here,
work, man.
It's dusty right now because I haven't put my AQ4 on it. Jesus Christ.
It's a Mexican tied to a cactus with arrows in the cactus.
Because Mexicans are endangered now too. So.
Save the Mexicans.
Oh, and I got his 8-ball too, mainly because I was trying to fit it in there. Kind of Taylor similar, and then a couple filler ones, dude. I'm just kidding.
Sure.
But yeah,
Sure,
save
so
the
handsy, bro.
Mexicans.
You're so handsy.
Oh yeah. Well, you're zoomed in on my face, but yeah, it's fun. Shout out Joey.
Shout out
Ira.
Joe.
Yeah.
Shout out
Busy
Iris
man.
Singleton.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet prince. You were supposed to get a tattoo last night.
Yeah, I know.
Canadians got you.
Canadians got me.
Damn.
Shout out Canadians.
Shout out Canadians.
Oh.
You don't like my butterfly?
Do what?
It's kind of cute, no? The little butterfly.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat, man.
Okay, that's a,
What? You know, I'm not a tattoo guy.
I know. We're just waiting.
I see a
till-
butterfly right above
the
your
Bussin' Bowl.
above your cock, and I'm thinking, so what's the deal with the butterfly?
All right, dude. You played a butterfly in a commercial. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, yeah, good point. Is that a shout to me then? Are you
Yeah,
shouting
dude.
me
My little
out?
Compton.
Yeah.
My little Compton butterfly sitting there. Do you want to talk about Kevin's Natural Foods?
Dude, I would love to talk about Kevin's Natural Foods. If you want a delicious protein-packed meal on the table in 5 minutes, Kevin's Natural Foods heat and serve entrees are your MVP. Kevin's Natural Foods ready-to-heat entrees and stir-fry kits are shockingly delicious and made with clean, high-quality ingredients. They feature delicious restaurant-quality flavors like Korean barbecue, cilantro lime chicken, Thai coconut curry, and roasted garlic chicken. I will also add in there, they have a General Tso's chicken that is phenomenal. Chicken tikka marsala. Paleo certified. There are some keto certified dishes. They have a variety of flavors, and protein offers countless opportunities to make it your own. Tacos, salads, sandwiches, etc. The opportunities are endless. Kick off 2025 with Kevin's and make it your healthiest and tastiest year yet. Look for Kevin's Natural Foods in the refrigerated section at your local grocery store.
Hell yeah.
Big
We
fan of
shot that little
Kevin's.
commercial for them, the little our little custom ad. Food is actually delicious.
I'm telling you. And we had to wait to shoot that because I had eaten the box before we could get back from Christmas break.
Really?
Charles was like, what is this box of Kevin Foods? Like, who sent us this? By the way, I got whoever wants a popcorn maker can have a popcorn maker.
Damn, that is crazy.
Bert Kreischer sent a package, but Charles like, what? I was like, I don't know, maybe somebody's a sponsor. I have no clue who sent this food, but it was Christmas break and I was hungry, so I dove into it, and it truly is phenomenal. And then I learned when we get here, hey, we got to do a custom social ad. We had to wait and postpone it because we need to get another box that I'd eaten it all. But it's good
I mean,
stuff.
don't send food to your
It's
house
good
if you're
shit.
not expecting to get 8.
Yeah,
Like that's the game.
yeah.
Also, shout out you for getting some for the boys.
Kevin's
Shout
Natural Foods
out.
for the boys.
Can I have that popcorn maker?
Yeah, if you want it.
You're not gonna keep
Thank
that
you.
popcorn maker?
No.
Dude, we were
talking about that in the
we were flying to
airport.
Chicago, and Will goes, "Did you see what Bert got us for Christmas?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, the popcorn maker." He goes, "Where am I gonna put that?" I'm just thinking, Doug, it was a nice, thought out gift. I'm sure Bert didn't go and find the popcorn maker himself, but he
You know
definitely
he didn't.
His people, Pete, came up to him and was like, "Who do you want to send Christmas gifts to?" And he said Will and Taylor as part of that list. That's special.
Yeah.
And got mad.
I'll tell you what.
And they sent seasonings too to put on the popcorn, which, by the way, is that has to be a shout out also. The seasoning on a
Bring it
popcorn.
to the shop.
It's here.
Oh,
Yeah. We can put it in the shop.
Yeah, just put it in the shop.
Sure, I'm always asking for things too. Last week he's trying to get a moped.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I think a moped for the shop would be great. Oh, you mean you
popcorn
live
maker,
4
how
minutes
about
away
that?
from here?
Hey, we could put it in the movie room.
Yeah.
The den?
Little
The
stream
popcorn
room.
maker.
The den.
You're right. There's a great spot to put it.
Could be good.
But Bert has sent a number of gifts. I used a little skillet that he sent us.
Yeah.
What else did he send? He sent a smoker, which Sherm got that.
Hey, and I've been using that smoker. Thank you to his team, because I've been using that smoker like crazy.
Yeah.
Rectech.
While we're on the subject of
No.
Bert, do you guys think there's a world where he gets 320 at the Super Bowl?
I think he can, bro.
What do you mean?
Just with that adrenaline, yeah. Short
He
arms,
is
big
going
belly,
to get
big barrel
bodied.
chest.
He is going to get bodied.
He's had over a month to prepare, and he was close to it. He wasn't getting it.
How
but
did it get extended?
Bro, he did 285 for
their
3.
team?
Wow.
They wanted to do it at the Super Bowl because he didn't want to do it in and out like on January 1st, right?
Yeah.
They were doing something in and out really quick. And they're like, what if we
Something
do it
with
for
Jelly.
the Super Bowl?
They were doing something with Jelly.
Yeah, because I think
The
Jelly
show.
and Bert did like some New Year's thing on TV.
Yeah. But it's like, just do it the next day, then leave.
Yeah,
Like,
because
we'll
it was
get up at
supposed to be
6 a.m.
315. They wanted to push to the Super Bowl. We were calling for 325 if he was going to get an extra month to prepare. So he's had 2 months to prepare. And we ultimately settled on 320. But I think he gets it because there's going to be a shitload of people around, like the adrenaline. I don't think he fails. And a loser of the bet, if he doesn't get it, like they're going to have to on Two Bears, One Cave do an ad read on Bussin With The Boys every episode throughout 2025. If he
Which
gets
is awesome.
it, we have to shout out his tour for 2025.
Y'all
Or, like,
need to start sending stuff to him.
That's not real. Sherm, is that real?
Go ahead, JP. Sorry for the interruption right there.
Y'all need to start sending stuff to him, like his favorite. You need to find out his favorite junk foods, anything that can knock him off his routine.
That's a good thought.
You should
process.
start doing. And then
Send him a popcorn machine.
in New Orleans, when you're there, night before, sabotage.
Like
Fire
we
alarm
drink
hotel.
near beers.
Yeah.
We take him out.
Right.
Hey, we go
Laxatives.
drink for drink with you. We're drinking Heineken Zeros.
Yeah.
Near beer? You never heard that before?
What's it called?
Near beer?
Near?
Near beer.
Near
Like it's
beer.
near a beer, but it's not quite a beer because there's no alcohol in it.
Yeah. Never heard that.
Wow. Okay. That's fun.
Fun
Near beer?
episode.
Fun
We
episode.
feel good?
Yeah, I feel great. Do you feel good?
Yeah. Bittersweet episode. Leaving Barstool. Boys are going independent, but
Also exciting. In a lot of
excited.
ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very excited.
Before we go, let's get predictions on National Championship because this is playing. While people are watching this, it's already happened. So who's going to look dumb and who's going to look smart? JP, we'll start with you. The mic's in your hand.
Notre Dame game-winning field goal. Mitch Jeter, four-year Gamecock player.
I want Notre Dame to win so bad, but Ohio State 2 touchdown scores. Easy.
I'm with Jack. I want Notre Dame, but I think Ohio State's winning this game.
Ohio State 50 burger. Notre Dame sucks. All my boys hate Notre Dame. Ohio State by 1 billion.
I'm going Ohio State. This is an AJ Hawk jersey from 2005.
You just bought that. Don't
I
bullshit.
promise you, this is a Youth XL. I can have my mom send me a picture because I was AJ Hawk for Halloween one year. So I'm obviously going Buckeyes by a lot.
I think
All right.
Ohio State catches an L. I think it's the Irish. 27-24.
This game does not matter to me. It's a win-win no matter what. Ohio State wins. Michigan beat the national champs. We were the national champs last year going 15-0. Ohio State loses. They didn't get a Big Ten championship. They didn't get a national championship. They got fucking nothing. So for me, it's a win-win. But give me Notre Dame. Give me Notre Dame. I like the field goal. All right, boys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
I want Notre Dame, but I think Ohio State's winning.
Dog?
Great episode. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Leave comments. Make sure to subscribe.
Locker room this week.
Locker room this week on Wednesday evening.
Wednesday
Locker room
evening.
will be dropping Wednesday evening, where we will cover conference championship weekend, breaking down the nuts and bolts of everything. All of our favorite picks. Our parlays did not hit this week, but they
will.
But they will hit.
We can't
we
guarantee
can't.
it.
No guarantees.
No guarantees.
Yeah.
Possibility of a CFB recap.
Possibility of a CFB recap on the locker room this Wednesday evening, and that'll drop at 6 p.m. Central Time. Love you. We appreciate you. For the boys.
Forever.